Hello, and welcome to a special stream for St. Patrick's Day and for Chicago Faucet, aka Ryan's birthday today. So happy birthday. Today is obviously March 17th, 2023, and Friday. I'm Beverly, and again, this is Ryan and his cat. Sorry, what was her name again?
Her name is Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
and she was a rescue that well, she chose me, but I like to think that I chose her, but really she chose me. So.
Yeah, I like that. And I just recently learned about tortie as the tortoise shell as a color.
Yeah,
So,
it's a rare pattern.
yeah.
I'm gonna put her on the chair behind me because she is.
She's really wanting some.
There we go. There
attention.
There we go. So hey, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
How was your St. Patrick's Day?
Mostly uneventful, but this morning the geese. So now that the mink is taken care of,
Expired.
The geese can be back in the barn now, and less concerned about last night because they've been up in our mudroom where like the ducks and then the other chicken who has bad legs too, they live, and the geese. So I was like gonna take them and close them in the barn, but when I went to refill the duck water, I came back, the geese were already inside the mudroom, and I was like, I really don't feel like going all the way to the barn now. They're already in here, like one more night, it's fine. Turned out not to be a good idea, because then this morning I don't know why I got up, like I heard the geese, they were kind of like making more noise, and I just decided to go and check on them. And I saw that DVD, Dick Van Duck, my runner duck who can't walk, he fell out of his like placement, and his head was through the pen. So his head was sticking out through it. And then so I get like whenever I'm like upset at them, I just go, no. So I was like, I knew they weren't doing anything to him at the moment, but when I got close up, like his bill was just so bloody and like scraped up, like they were biting at him. So that was terrifying. And like he's okay. Like I kept trying to, I gave him like a bath, and I kept trying to like clean it off and hold with a rag onto his bill to try to stop the bleeding because it wouldn't stop. And I again, what happened to me, I don't know if you had heard, if you had watched the streams that I talked about when my fingers got pinched in that trap that my dad had, because when he was talking about catching the mink, and then I was trying to test it. So he's like, here, it's on a wood block, and it like bit onto it, and he's like, try pulling it off, and I did, and I succeeded at it. And so when I slid it off, the springs like went back in and pinched my fingers. So it wasn't that bad, but my finger is still numb, like I still can't really feel, and this was like a month ago. It's boy. Like it comes and goes, but like it started kind of bruising, and it was cold, so I didn't notice if it was like actually bad or like how bad it was. But in my head, I kept thinking like, is my finger broken? Is this? So I got like panicky in my head, and I nearly passed out. I had to sit down. My dad helped me like walk back to the house because we were in the barn. And halfway there, I just fell down. I collapsed and was down on the ground, and it just hurt like everything. I couldn't even feel anything anymore. Like I was awake, but like I couldn't feel my body. And I just saw my dad like out of the corner. He's like, oh, Beverly. And he helped me back up. We continued walking, made it near to the door of the house, and I collapsed again. And so then I had to sit down. And eventually like, he helped me to the couch, and I just lay there for a while until I got better. So like, when Alex and I talked about it, she was saying how there's a phobia called, was it blood injury and some blood injury, something. There's 3 things to it, but so it's just something, and it's not the blood that gets me, or I think it's the idea of the injury, because it's not even the pain. It's just like I'm freaked out by the injury or like the potential problem from it. So this morning when it happened to DVD, I'm like I was fine. I was helping him out for a few minutes trying to get things going. And then I got lightheaded, and I was like, no, like, why is this happening? Like, stop. And I couldn't control it. So I'm holding him in a towel afterward, and I had to lie down. I just laid down on the floor outside of the bathroom here, because I was like, I'm going to pass out. If I stay upright, I need to lie down. And I had to do that 3 times because I would get back up and start trying to do stuff to clean him up, and I'd get lightheaded again. And I'm like, I have to lie down. I'm going to pass out. So I'm just like lying down on the floor, cuddling this duck, and I'm trying to like keep him upright and stop the bleeding while I'm trying not to pass out. So it was just like, why is this happening? I can't control it's my inability to not pass out. Like it's so frustrating that like my body just won't listen to me.
What do they call that? Sympathy pains or
Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, because
symphosomatic or something? I
I
forget.
empathize really strongly with things. So like I imagine the pain a lot for others, but then I think that's what I did for myself too. When I got injured, it wasn't like that it was hurt. It was that I kept thinking about that pain. So I was thinking about how hurt he was or not, and but I wasn't even like consciously doing it. It was kind of it was just sort of like, I'm trying to help him out. And then it was like in the back of my mind, I must have been thinking about it though, because then I don't know. So that was really frustrating. And then I went back to lie back down and I fell back asleep and slept in way longer than I meant to, because I was just like, I'm exhausted from nearly passing out 3 times this morning. And poor DVD.
That's the scary part. He was actively bleeding from around the bill.
Yes. Oh, yeah, his bill is totally like, and it's not the first time because he's gotten like scraped and stuff before too. Like they all kind of get it, but like the bills, there's a lot of like veins and stuff in there, and they're actually warm, and because there's a lot of blood going in. So like it's gonna bruise. The right side was a lot worse. The left side had some too, but I just felt so bad. So I was like, as soon as that happened, I said, "Nope, geese are no longer living here. Like you are staying in the barn forever now because I'm not gonna risk that happening." And like
Oh
of
man.
course, it was like the last time. I'm like, well, one more night will be fine. They've been okay since then. And then that last night, where it was just like, nope, that was a terrible idea. I shouldn't have done it, but it was convenient. So I feel so bad for DVD.
Oh yeah, I'm very empathetic for animals. When hearing you tell that story, I'm kind of down to me a little bit. I hate even hearing about stuff like that.
Yeah, don't pass out on me now. That's big
Clunk.
for me. But how was your birthday / St. Patrick's Day? Was it any less lightheaded?
Yeah, yes, very much less lightheaded. On the lightheaded scale was far lower than your day. It was good. I took the day off of work. I take so little time off of work. We have a maximum. I've been with the company decades, and we have a maximum amount of time that we can accrue. And since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been routinely over that. So I actually have lost days. So I was like, you know what? It's my birthday. It's Friday. I'm just gonna take it off, get a 3-day weekend. So that's what.
Nice.
So that's what I did. Yeah. And I didn't feel guilty at all. I usually feel guilty about doing stuff like most people do. I usually feel guilty about doing stuff like that. I didn't feel guilty at all. I supremely felt like I deserved it.
It's your birthday. Yeah, absolutely. I never work on my birthday. The one time I just had a psychology class in college when I would, if it were any other class, I probably would have skipped it, but I just love psychology and I loved my instructor. So I was like, yeah, I'll go to class tonight. But yeah, no, I never work on my birthday.
Well, that's a good segue into the topic for tonight. I am weird about my birthday. Always have been. It was when I was up until about 8 years old. It was cute that my birthday was St. Patrick's Day. You know, leprechauns, green. I'm actually a quarter Irish, anyways, and but then after that, it really lost its luster. And when I was a young adult and all through my adulthood, then it actually became a pain in the ass because it's St. Patrick's Day, so everyone's going out to everyone's going out to bars and everything like that. Okay, so that sounds like it should be a great time. Like your birthday is St. Patrick's Day. You're celebrating your birthday, St. Patrick's Day. Everyone's out at the bars and everything. No, it was always a lousy time. There was one birthday. I was the designated driver for the night because everyone else got smashed, and I hadn't gotten smashed yet.
Are you supposed to designate that before you get drinking?
Well, it was, but that person ended up
That's
being
what
drunk, so.
Oh, okay. That's what, like, you're not designated. You were the like de facto driver because the designated one did not do his job.
Yeah. So I
would have just gotten drunk and then everyone just had to take a cab home or something.
Well, you know what? That's what I should have done. That's what I really, really should have done. I should have just gone drunk and said, "It's your prom. Deal with it."
Yeah, and say it's my birthday. No, I'm all about being very selfish on my birthday. We do mini golf. It's a tradition to go mini golfing, and I'm like, other people can come along with us, but I have to win. I will be the winner of mini golf. That is the rule. So
What, Bev?
I'm sorry, that's just the rule of mini golf on my birthday. So you can and it can be like you can do really well up until the very end, and then then they'll like, oh, they'll mess up like the last hole or two or something, and then so I can get the points. Like the rest of it they could do fine. But and then I just was talking to Alex about this the other day about how I learned I'm a lot better at it when I'm just looking at the hole, even though people told me to look at the ball. So I want to go back and practice this. Before we get more into this real quick, though, I just want to say hi to chat and also say, yes, we are streaming on YouTube tonight because I didn't know if Rumble was going to work. It was not processing. And then I tried deleting the stream, and then it said that I couldn't make when I tried to set up a new one, it said that you still have another stream slot being used, so you can't make a new one. And I said, no, I canceled the other one, and it would not let me. And I had to wait a while. And I made it like right beforehand. And then it took a while because it was like, we're processing again. And it went from 33% and then stayed there for a while. Later, I saw 64%. I thought, hey, that's progress. Then it went back down to 1%. And I thought, this is never going to work. And then it worked. So I don't know. But just in case I did YouTube, even though normally we're not doing YouTube anymore. I see people in chat here who I don't see on Rumble, but we solely stream on Rumble now because YouTube censors normally. So this is an offshoot, or a one-off rather.
Well, real quick before you get to chat, I just want to point out I'm going to be doing some stuff on the stream here, and I have Rumble chat up, and I'm only going to be putting stuff on Rumble chat.
Oh, yeah. See, incentive to go over to Rumble now.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be a kind of an interactive kind of sort of stream I have set up here for us, and everything's going to be going on over on Rumble. And the second thing is, when you're on Rumble, make sure you hit the little thumbs up button down here for Bev. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we're going to be getting into whatever Ryan wants to do. I did not plan anything. I was just like, yes, I will host the platform to stream on. And apparently 2 platforms because we're doing YouTube. So try not to get me banned tonight, Ryan, in chat. But also whatever. So Judge Lot, hello. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. And oh no, I guess I did just see you on Rumble the other day, didn't I? JEC, hello. Chris, hello. He says I don't have to sleep on the floor anymore. Ned, hello. In the old day, they would have called that hysteria. Yes. Hi, Johnny boy. You can Rumble is working, so feel free to go over there if you want. A guy in his room. Oh, hi, you're over here. Go over. Yeah, go over to the Rumble stream. I take mini golf extremely seriously. Thank you. And I feel like once I learned, like I'm a lot better this way. I only learned that halfway through my last birthday. And then I was like, let's go again. And we just never did before they closed up for the summer. So now I need to go back, and I want to like same thing with like bowling. I'd want to practice them nonstop, but I also can't afford to keep doing it like daily, weekly.
I love miniature golf. Absolutely love miniature golf. It's my favorite. I classify it as a sport. It's my favorite sport. And I also like to drive golf balls, although I've never actually been on a real golf course. I've never done a full 18 holes of golf. So people ask me, have you ever golfed? And I said, well, yes, with a asterisk, because I drive golf balls and I do mini golf. So like, the 2 should add up to having done golf before. But I just love miniature golf. Hey, on Rumble, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been to Myrtle Beach, because I want to talk about Myrtle Beach in a second here. But go ahead, Bev.
You know what? I was just looking at Rumble. I was pressing play again on it to double check, and it wasn't working for a minute. I'm like, oh no, did the whole thing break again?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good now though.
Okay.
It might just be my internet. I think it looks like a Rumble. I'm coming in pretty blurry. My download was like 20 some, and my upload was like 4, which I was surprised about. So I don't know why the quality is so bad on my video. This is just what it looked like in real life. I'm very fuzzy. So hello in Rumble chat, Mother Fetcher, JBSX, Guy Room, Mr. Lot. See, yeah. And Johnny Boy. Oh my gosh. I'm wearing the green contacts in again for St. Patrick's Day, but they do get blurry and I can't always see stuff. Which I did get the whatever solution and things too, so I'm able to soak it. So I took your advice on how to do contact lenses, and I'm sort of learning. It is still, I was better at putting them in today, but it's still like they're like so flimsy thin, like they're thinner than what I've ever seen other contacts are. So it just really like wraps back on my finger. So I'm really having to like stretch it up and just like stick my finger in my eye and then like close my eyelid as quickly as I can, or it'll get like kind of on my eyelashes and I'm just trying to like blink it blinks it outward, but I'm trying to like blink it back up into my eyeball, and so it's not fun, but I'm gonna keep trying. People are supposed to be buying you drinks, not making you drive. Yeah, exactly. For your birthday, you should not be doing that. I would no longer be friends with them. This is how you end up with Geese sleeping in the bed with you. You know, it got pretty close when Lemon Grab was a baby because he would constantly cry and stuff. And I was thinking, should I just put him in the bedroom, at least like in his like, you know, his little sleeping place with us in the bedroom though, so he can like see that I'm there. We never actually did that. We just got another goose instead. Happy Pat Birthricks Day. Nice. Old Rumble loves to always keep you guessing. Yeah, keep you geesing is what you mean, Mr. Lot.
But I'm ching.
Okay. I think I said Goose Rule 34. Oh, hi, Society Reviews. Welcome.
Society Reviews, get over to Rumble. Oh, and JBSX says that I look lovely, so thank you, JBSX.
He does. What a he's glowing on his birthday here.
So I don't see any ones in the chat, so I'm assuming no one's been to Myrtle Beach. So that's a disappointment.
Have I? Where? Let me look up Myrtle Beach. I can't remember if that was the one that I went to. Myrtle Beach. Is that? No, I went to Ocean. Is that near Ocean City?
No, so Myrtle Beach is at the northern part of South Carolina, and okay. And the Outer Banks is at the southern part of North Carolina.
Maybe I'm mixing myself up with my cousin. I think maybe my cousin or something lived down there.
But anyways, no, the whole reason why I mentioned Myrtle Beach was the world's best miniature golf course is there, and it's called Atlanticus, like Atlantis, but Atlanticus, and it was a parking garage. It was like one of those multiple story concrete parking garages, and they turned the whole thing into 2 separate miniature golf courses. And it is the most extreme miniature golf you've ever seen in your entire life. They had to invest I don't know if they ever got their money back. I mean, it's still open. I don't know if they've gotten their money back yet. They had just the sheer amount of construction they put into this to turn it from a parking garage into 2 miniature golf courses is insane. They had to invest thousands of dollars. I mean, there's physics involved. They have active streams going all over the place, and you got to jump over the ball, or sometimes you go into the stream and the stream pushes you down. Sometimes the stream goes into the hole, so like a waterfall, so like will carry your ball into the hole. I mean, they have these, they do those on miniature golf courses. They do those mounds, which is basically like concrete with the green over it, and not just mounds, like mountains, like mountain ranges you have to hit the ball over, and it's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. So if I ever go to Myrtle Beach, which is one of my favorite places in the world, and I don't go to Mount Atlanticus, it's called Mount Atlanticus, I believe. Either Atlanticus or Mount Atlanticus. If I don't go there, then it's a wasted vacation. So, yeah, there's 2 ocean cities. There's one in New Jersey and one in Maryland.
I think I went to the one in Maryland.
The one in New Jersey is the one that has the big boardwalk. The one in Maryland is the one that's a little more hoity-toity.
I'd like to think that I would not go to Jersey generally. And this is when I was like 13, 15, 14, something. But I do remember collecting a bunch of jellyfish and putting them in a bucket and then taking that home with me.
Wait, what? That's a story.
Not much to it. It's actually, I shouldn't have done that, but like they were the kind that didn't really shock. It was just like the flat things that are on the beach, and I collected a bunch of them and I took them home, but they, didn't survive long enough there. But I also couldn't really tell because it was just sort of like round, thick pancakes, sort of like jelly, like thick jelly pancakes. was all they were. But they didn't shock you though, like, because I think it was like so weak that you didn't notice it or something. And yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but I want to say I was like 13 maybe.
That's crazy. So, and I mean, the people were you with your parents or something?
It was just my dad and me. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, well, he's your dad. He would have been okay with that. Yeah, dads are always okay with stuff like that. Yeah. Hey, cool. Let's go get some more.
Yep. So, not much. I don't remember if that was. I don't. We did like some sort of trip thing, and I might be blending them together. But so to me, that memory is stuck with also going to Hershey Park for my birthday, and then we like drove farther out that way. But like Hershey Park was my 13th birthday, and we went to like amusement parks on my birthday many times. But I also can't handle heat, and my birthday's in July, in the middle of July, so I get sick a lot, and I was always dehydrated. So I just hurled over the hotel balcony outside and just hot dog chunks everywhere, which so we were like at the amusement park for a while. I got sick. We went back to the hotel. I vomited everywhere, and then it started raining anyway. So it was like kind of good timing because it was like, well, it was like pouring down rain after that. So right, but I remember that.
Well, I'm gonna name my punk rock band Hot Dog Chunks. So.
Yeah.
Coming to the stage, it's Hot Dog Chunks.
That or improv team name. They always could do any of those. Guy in room said just use glue, Beverly. It was hard not to say Bev there. You know what? If you're gonna be like sassy to me about it, Bev works too. If you're gonna like be, mocking me, then it's more acceptable. I'm in Rumble. This place sucks. High Society reviews.
Well, I mean, username checks out. Society reviews. This place.
Yeah, Society reviews. You should join us on a Wednesday stream sometime.
Well, he's too good for that.
Yeah, apparently, because he's high society.
Oh, I only do YouTube. So I've always been. Back to my birthday. I've always been weird about my birthday, and so how I came to terms with it was, I started seeing my birthday as a humanitarian opportunity for me, a philanthropy opportunity for me, where I saw it as a day, and this is a very unpopular opinion. I say this and people hate me for this, but I see it as an opportunity for me to so-called pay rent for being a member of the human society. It was human species and also a member, a citizen of this earth and everything. So I usually try to do nice stuff on my birthday, nice stuff for other people on my birthday. And there was a couple.
We are so different.
See,
I have to win mini golf. You do stuff for other people.
Well, if we had the same birthday, my nice thing would be that I would let you win mini golf.
Okay.
So, what day in July is your birthday, by the way?
The 23rd.
23rd of July. Cool. So there were a couple years there before I started doing the philanthropy birthday idea. I figured like I had to earn a good birthday. And so what I would do was on my birthday, March 17th, I would make 2 appointments for that day. And the 2 appointments were, I would go to the dentist in the morning, and then I would go to H&R Block and do my taxes in the afternoon. So on my birthday, I went to the dentist and did my taxes. Oh, happy birthday! I know, right? And I tell people that, and they're like, "What? Why are you torturing yourself?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I get like pleasure out of it or something. I don't know.
Weird.
Like, I have to like before I can have a good time, I have to prove something, like my existence or something.
This masochist over here.
Yeah, kind of, sorta. So, and that continues into today. So we're about to get started with the nice things that I did for other people today. And they're actually not. They actually haven't happened yet. They're going to happen right now. The first thing is for you, Bev. Actually,
Ooh.
I did something for you, something very, very special. And Alex and Juliet, wherever Juliet is.
Where is Julia?
Oh, do we have a location on Julia? Like
hashtag where's Julia? I don't know. Alex said that she's posted on Twitter. I haven't heard from her like in Discord though. So
She posted something about St. Patrick's Day like 19 hours ago when it wasn't even
okay.
St. Patrick's Day. So I
I don't
or
know if she's been on Discord though, so maybe I should reach out on Twitter and see.
maybe. So I just hope she made it home safe last night.
Yes. And Alex, I gave them both the link, but Alex is currently streaming on her channel right now, which I would post the link, but I also don't want the people watching now to leave. So, but so
Scary.
she maybe like I don't know if she'll come over afterward or not though, because she goes to bed early too. So we'll see. But I did throw out the link.
Well, what is she streaming right now? Is she?
She's playing Destiny 2, I think, is what she
Hmm.
does on Fridays now.
I went through a big Halo phase. And
Mm.
Destiny is kind of sort of not related, but kind of is.
Terrible at first person shooters. And I played Halo 2 once in college and I got stuck in a wall. It wasn't a doorway, it was like the wall. Really bad at first person.
You're like, hey, a little help here,
Yeah.
little help here.
That's why I love Left 4 Dead 2, and we've played that a few of us like in the Discord in the past, and but I need help. I need that too because I'm not. I like melee, but you can't kill that many though. So I always have the lowest kills, but I like to get it right up in there and hit them with the katana or the guitar. But like I'm not great at the game, but I like it.
Well, yeah. Here's a good. You like psychology, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're actually going to touch on a couple psychology themes tonight as well. The first thing is a very important question that I think people should try to answer for themselves is what name some things that you enjoy, and I'm not asking you right now because this takes some insight and some thought, but just the general you, the collective you. What was it? Oh, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah.
Collective you, not me
What?
personally.
Yeah, exactly. The collective you, including myself, and I've already answered this for myself. But what are some things? What are some things you enjoy doing, even though you're terrible at them? And sex doesn't count. Okay, it's like what are things you enjoy doing, despite you not being good at them? Because there's things we enjoy, and we're good at them, and part of the reason why we enjoy them was good at them, and there's things we hate because we're not good at them. What are some things you enjoy doing even though you're terrible at them? And I already know a couple of them myself. One of them is actually miniature golf, and another one is Halo. And like in Halo, they always have I went through quick story here. Microsoft's ad campaign I totally was a sucker for it because when I first got my very first cell phone, it was like 2008, 2009. No, smartphone, very first smartphone. And I got the Windows phone, which, by the way, fight me, but the Windows phone was the best cell phone that ever existed.
Really?
So,
Oh.
yes, it is. To this day.
I almost got, or was it Windows? It was Google Pixel. I don't know. I've been using Samsung Galaxies forever, so I just stick with those.
Yeah, I just got a new one here a couple weeks ago. Oh, I guess it's a Motorola phone. I guess Motorola's making a comeback. At one time, Motorola had 95% of the market share for cell phones, and then they collapsed down to only 5% of the market. Now they're kind of clawing their way back. But the when I decided to get a smartphone, my first smartphone, I there was this ad. There was this promo. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, Wesley G-Man in chat said, just got home. Did I miss Julia? Because he's the one that does. Where's Julia? We did bring up hashtag Where's Julia earlier. What? G-Man.
The last Julia was seen. She was jumping out of a cargo airplane over the Pacific without a parachute, but with a Bowie knife in her mouth. Yeah. So I don't know. That was like 3 weeks ago. So
seriously, right? Hi, P Beaver. Guy in room, you use Samsung to feel the only non-Apple person. No, I hate Apple. I used to have a MacBook. I said that's the only Apple I will ever have. I don't like Apple iPhones and stuff. I just don't get them, and I refuse to learn.
Yeah. Oh, so my story. Yeah. So when I decided to get a smartphone, there was this advertisement from Microsoft that said if you get a Microsoft phone through Verizon, whatever, you will get a free Xbox game. And I was like, and I didn't even have an Xbox, mind you. Like I was always a PC guy. I was never really, except for Nintendo, 30 years ago. But I was like, okay, this is intriguing, and I was going to get the phone anyways, so I might as well get a free Xbox game. At least I can give it to like one of my my gaming buddies or something like that. So I ordered the phone, and inside the box with the phone was this postcard, and it said, check which free game you want, and the choices were Halo Reach, and then two others. I don't know. Minecraft and Roblox, even though those weren't even out at the time. Okay, Minecraft and Roblox, we'll just say. So I was like, well, I'll check Halo Reach. Okay. So I sent the card off, and I was like, well, I'm never going to see that game. I'm going to get some sort of coupon to go to GameStop, and it's going to be like 10% off or something like that. No, literally the next week in the mail, I received a fresh, unopened copy of Halo Reach. And I was like, whoa, this is impressive. The problem is I didn't have an Xbox, though.
Oh.
So I went down to GameStop and
That's
I
how
bought
they get you.
exactly. So I got the phone, I got the game, and now it's like, oh, I gotta buy an Xbox. So I bought an Xbox. So then I did some research. I'm like, where I wasn't familiar with the Halo mythology at that point. So I was like, where's this Halo Reach game? Like, where is it? So, and it was the most recent game that had come out at the time. So I looked up online the mythology, and chronologically speaking, Halo Reach starts first. That's at the beginning of the story and Master Chief isn't even in it yet. It's the people before Master Chief. And spoiler alert for a game that's already like 15 years old.
Oh no, too soon.
Going into the game, it doesn't end well. And as the game progresses, it gets darker and darker and darker.
Mm.
Yes. Then it goes like, as a matter of fact, the very last scene of Halo Reach is the very first scene of Halo, and then there's Halo 2 and 3 and 4, whatever. So I played through Halo Reach, and I was like, this game was awesome. So I was like, well, I haven't even like played original Halo yet. Like, that's the next game. So I went out and I bought Halo, and so here we are: phone, game, Xbox, second game. All right. So I ran through Halo, and that to this day is probably my favorite video game I've ever played. It is a saga, and it was a saga, and it's an intense, immersive game. I mean, there were times when I would go over to turn on the console, and I would pick up the controller, and like my hands would be like shaking, because I know where I left off at my last save, and I'm like, I don't know what's coming next. So then I did 2 and 3, and 2 and 3 I wasn't. There's another shitty opinion of mine. I didn't like 2 and 3. Everyone else loved 2 and 3. And whenever I say I liked Reach and Halo better than 2 and 3, I get looks like they want to punch me in the face. Because everyone's like, oh, 2 and 3, you could dual wield a weapon and finally. I was like more like for the story. And the 2 and 3, the story was just so disjointed. So anyways, so that's how Microsoft got me. It was like, here, have a cell phone. And then I'm now like, I was a fully immersed Microsoft customer. So how did we even get on cell phones, smartphones?
You're asking a lot of me to remember things from 5 minutes ago. I don't remember how we got to phones, but until we do, Tune to Key also says happy birthday, ChicagoFaucet.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome, Tune to Key. Things you enjoy but are bad at: sex. Just kidding. I won't say how though. This is a question that I have for guys here, or I guess lesbians too. What makes a woman? What is the thought of like? How does a woman be bad at sex?
I'm going to answer. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's actually easier to look at the other way. What is a man looking for from a woman in sex? And pretty much
vagina.
Well, I mean, that's kind of assumed or hoped. But I would just say a willing partner. A willing and enthusiastic partner.
I feel like willing is like the very base thing to make.
Well, that's where we're at. I mean, we could have a whole series on men, on the current state of the relationship between men and women right now, and it would be a series we could do, and we would never reach the end of it. But like right now, and that's just like one small pebble.
The bar is very low.
Well, yeah. But I mean, willing and enthusiastic partner.
Okay.
Yeah, but not fake enthusiastic. Like, and we could get
Hey,
okay.
girl.
So certain adult films, types of entertainment, um, both men and women, I think, get a little disillusioned with that, and I think it affects
Sorry,
them.
disillusion with what?
Pornography.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think that happens sometimes. Not to everyone. Oh, Plop has opinions. He's out there. He's yelling now. That's because he is learning how to do it himself. So sometimes he successfully mounts a goose and not just sideways or backwards. So sometimes I don't know whether he's like getting in there, but he's like at least in the proper positioning sometimes.
Well, did you
Um,
ever? This is kind of TMI, but did you ever see a duck's penis?
oh yeah, I've
Man,
seen goose ones too. Both of the lemon grab and plops. They look similar. I don't
are
think I've seen
they?
DVDs. I've seen pictures of duck ones, but goose ones are similar.
Is it true that they're corkscrews?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it from kind of a distance, although if I let Plop keep trying to mate with me, I might get a closer look at it at some point, but I guess he just does sometimes.
Oh,
Um,
for science, take one for the team.
yeah, but from what I could see, it was corkscrewed. I think, which one? Are they different directions or something? I forget now, but the ducks are something where no, I guess for ducks, it's the opposite direction of how the female duck's hole is supposed to be. Like it goes the other way for some reason.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Well, so that's my answer to that question. I would like to see what other people post serious answers to that, because I'm sure that we're getting some not so serious answers.
yeah, we have G-Man saying most women are bad at sex. They just lay there all knocked out and whatnot. Uh,
All knocked out.
again, we're at the base of like consent and there are high level things and more detailed things can't go on YouTube that make a woman good or bad at sex. Yeah, this is why we're stuck at YouTube. Well, and if I'll just get a strike and I'm not posting on YouTube anyway, right? And they probably won't outright ban me. If she ain't willing, he ain't finishing. Is that true though? Because I mean, rape does happen. So
Well, that might be a little too saucy to talk about, but I do have opinions about that, and I do agree with JBSX. Like for instance, I'll say this very. What are you laughing at?
Judge a lot. Women are always trying to escape, so I have to hold them down while I do my thing. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I think that that act, rape, I actually don't think a lot of men are even physically capable of it. To go to, I know JVSX was kidding, but I think there's a kernel of truth in there, and that if a woman isn't willing, there's
It seems like
no
it'd be
arousal on our part.
unpleasant. Yeah,
Yeah,
that too, and just that,
exactly.
like,
Yes,
physically, that seems I mean, because like, if
yes.
they're not aroused, jamming it in might be a little too uncomfortable for even them sometimes.
Yeah, and not mechanically possible. So,
Yeah. Is it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey?
well,
Goose peanut.
well, that's what I heard. That's what I heard about. Yeah, that's what I heard about geese and ducks. Is like it's almost physically like like a key in a lock.
Kinda, yeah, but that's what from what I remember reading, like, the goose penis or duck penis specifically spirals one way, and then the cloaca hole for the female goes the other way, so it doesn't even fit right, but, like, somehow but I think it's malleable, so, like, when it shoots out, I think it will go in that direction because 'cause I've just watched the video in slow motion of it going out and, like,
Repeatedly.
when it just slowly spirals. Um It's an interesting video. I have not seen DVDs, but he doesn't have legs to really get up and attempt things. So,
Yeah, or beak anymore. Sorry.
his bill, at least that's why I was scared because his eyes are right there, so I got scared that his eyes might be damaged and stuff. So like I think his bill will heal, but JBSX Beverly watches duck porn. Technically, I guess it's on YouTube though, totally like uncensored on YouTube. What is important from a woman in bed? Enthusiasm, as mentioned, and communication. It seems a lot of women, not just in the bedroom, expect men to be psychic. Adults use their words. And I think that can be an issue for both partners too, whatever sex that they are, because sometimes communication just is, and sometimes it's awkward too, though. Like to when it's something so intimate, and then like, hey, this is what I like or don't like, and it could be awkward for someone else to hear that, like, hey, this isn't the thing. Like I don't like when you do this thing here, and that could be tough because it's a very sensitive topic. Pardon the pun. The Ball Do is coming out with a new vibrating design. What's Ball Do? Is that a brand? Baldo?
I've
Baldo?
never heard of it.
I don't know. Wesley, you have more knowledge in this topic than I.
Some might say too much.
Baldo, the world's first ball dildo. The world's first sex toy that lets you I'm just going to read this verbatim. The world's first sex toy that lets you to penetrate your partner with your balls. That is the search that comes up on baldo.com is how they let the ball sex revolution begin. Have your first ballgasm. Interesting. I do think, I don't remember who I was talking to about, or that for masturbation purposes and stuff, guys don't really have much available to them because there's only, I mean, outside of like it's just the auto blow type of thing. But like there isn't, you don't really, or just other like sex toys and stuff too, though. You don't get too fancy because there's only like so many things. But like women, they have like tons of stuff. They get creative. No thanks. Google it. No thanks. It's for dudes that made their way through every porn category. Oh, okay. So, all right.
I want to share something.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw this a couple years ago. This is the skull of a toucan. Yes, is that not incredible? You don't realize it. You know what an animal looks like without its feathers and skin and stuff.
That's its skull. That is where the rest of its head is.
Yeah, look,
Wow.
it's like 80% of its head is its bill, and of course it would be, but we don't think of that, you know.
Yeah.
And then look at the eye sockets. Like the eye sockets have like like bones. That I don't know how I guess the eye. I don't know how with the eyes. I don't know. That's just freaky. That's just freaky.
Yeah, the thing that I find interesting with with birds generally, because I think they all do it, and I couldn't remember. I used to have parakeets when I was little, but it's been so long. But when you watch them close their eyes, because they've got like 3 eyelids, so they've got like a invisible, like a clear one too, and then a couple others. I guess I'm not sure. I just know I'll see like it comes from the bottom instead of like when we blink and then close the top one, that it comes from the bottom, and they just like look really cute as they're like slowly falling asleep and then just like goes up. So I like to just watch when I'm holding DVD, because like after he takes a bath, and I like help dry him off with a towel. So we'll sit there for a while, and I like try to hold his legs and stuff, but to help him like practice, but then he'll get tired and just like slowly start falling asleep. But then he's also really mean. He's kind of a dick. He's a Dick Van Duck, because he'll bite now. He used to not do this, but he'll bite your fingers, like whatever part of your skin, and then he twists. So he chomps down and then like it can hurt. It like really pinches. And I don't know why he's gotten so like it's mostly fingers. He hates fingers now. He's been fingered too much.
Well, well, speaking of birds, the gift that I created for you and for Alex and for Juliet is that I keep bothering you about getting your own gilded group, and you always refuse to.
I did download, was that today? Last night, today. I did download the installation thing for Gilded, either today or yesterday. I haven't installed it, but I did download it.
Well, not only have you downloaded and installed it, you now have your own Gilded group.
Oh.
I created it for you. I just put the link in the Rumble chat.
Oh,
so
okay.
I want everyone here to go click on that link right now. It's an invitation. And Bev, as soon as I see that you have joined, I will. Yep, I will make you an administrator of it.
Okay. I
Let me check it out here.
think I have an account. I have to look up passwords and stuff because I don't know. Okay. Let me see here. While I'm waiting for my password things to load up, I liked Ron Green. My wife and I were happy and had good sex for 20 years, and then we met. That cracked me up. Wear mittens and see if he gets confused. What are we talking about, JBSX? Must have really strong necks. Oh, wear mittens on for the duck. I got some cross topics, and I was like, which one are we talking about here? All right, Gilded. No, I'm pretty certain I have an account. I just have no idea what it is. So maybe I'll try, and it might just make me a new one. It worked. Okay.
All right, cool. Now hold on 1 second here. I see you there. I'm assuming that you are the dim side. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You are
Unless
now.
someone else took my username, they're like, come on.
I don't know. It's the internet. It's the internet.
I know, right? I know. It'd be hilarious.
So JDaw41 is also there too, as well as yourself. And I sent out, I secretly.
Oh, wow. This has been here for a while, huh?
Yes.
March 6th?
Yes, I created a couple weeks ago, and I've been getting people to sign up. So you already have some people on.
Even Juliet is on here.
Yeah, Juliet is on there.
Wow. Oh, okay. Awesome. I like that. Yeah, you're really pushing for this Gilded to happen.
So you have no excuse now, because now it exists, and now you're an administrator of it. But you can. But it's yours. I'll remain as a captain. A captain is administrator, admin, owner, whatever, only to like help you. But I'm not going to intervene at all. But you can change pretty much anything. There's only 5 rooms there, and I labeled it as who, what, where, when, and why. Only because like you're also a reporter in real life, so I was like, oh, those are the questions a reporter asks: who, what, where, when, why. Yeah. And each one has a different purpose. Like one is like the main text chat room, and then one is like a voice room, and one is like a streaming room where you can stream stuff, and then a calendar, you can set up a calendar, and then and something, and even like a schedule or whatever. Oh, Quick Draw joined. Mutter Fetcher joined.
Did you guys already have Gilded accounts? Is that what, like you guys? So I want to know: is everyone using Gilded more than Element?
I've never even heard of Element.
It's a good one too. It's but I think it is less known.
Yeah, Gilded is the main competitor to Discord, but and Gilded is owned by the company that did Roblox, and I've mentioned this before, and I think they just did it out of the kindness of their hearts to set up a platform for their Roblox players to use, and then they just expand it to everybody. But they don't talk about it, they don't advertise it at all. But still, Discord's probably 10 times the size of Gilded. Still.
Okay.
But Gilded would be the main competitor to Discord.
I'll end up matching, because that's what I did with Element of what I have for Discord, and just copying over like here are the channels and stuff too, so that way and then everyone will have the same thing. Yeah. And low among them are
guy in room. What is Gilded? Just click the link.
It's like Discord guy in room. So if you know, like Discord is just it's a potentially less censoring form of or like type of Discord. I think the reason why Alex chose Element was because Gilded had some iffy things in it, but like no one really seems to have complaints. I think iffy and the like whatever the policy stuff was, but I don't know. I never actually looked at it.
Well, I mean, technically they could go the same route as Discord has, but they've verbally promised that they would not.
Okay.
But then again, it's the same thing with Rumble and YouTube. Like Rumble, they could go the same way, but they say they verbally promise that they won't go the same way as YouTube. So we just have to trust them until they give us reason not.
Yeah, it's like they'll probably be better, but like they also might go bad eventually. Thank you, Mr. Lot.
Oh yeah, Mr. Lot.
There is an advantage to Gilded over Discord.
Yes, I can speak to that. Gilded, in my humble opinion, but also there's quantifiable data here. Gilded is better than Discord for a couple reasons. One, first off, it's prettier. Discord is still janky to this day, visual wise. Gilded is much more pretty and shiny. Also, the visual, the visual aspect of it is much more higher res, higher quality. An example would be on Discord. If you're using an emote, sometimes you're squinting, like, what the heck kind of emote is that? Not on Gilded. Gilded's emotes are like clear and pristine and sharp. Also, the voice in the video, in my opinion, is slightly better quality than Discord as well. And Discord has, and on Discord they have the whole Nitro thing, and they're always constantly bugging you about, like, pay $5, whatever. Gilded, you don't pay for it at all, at least not yet. Although I kind of wish you could. I wish that they had like a tier system where, like, if you spent $5 a month, your group got promoted or something like that. I wish they had that, but Gilded just doesn't have any pay system in place. But also on top of that, and I don't know if Discord can do this, but Gilded, you can set up subscribers, where what will happen is you can set up a tier system with your members, and if someone pays a subscription fee and you set what those fees are, like $1 a month, $2 a month, you can give them certain accesses that other people don't have. And the one other thing, it's hooked in very, very well with bots. If a member on a Gilded, if someone goes on Twitch and they are a member of a Gilded group, a little announcement will pop up saying so-and-so just is streaming on Twitch. And if you click that link, you can watch their Twitch stream in Gilded. So,
okay.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of benefits to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the biggest one is just the potentially less censorship, because, like, inevitably we'll get banned from Discord.
Yeah, that too. Potentially less censorship. Potentially, like I said, they could always go that way if they wanted to, but they've kind of verbally promised that they wouldn't. But so we got to take their word for it. So,
I can see how many people now. Okay, thanks. And I just posted it in the Discord too, to the link to here. So let's see.
Oh, cool. The Lord Coley just joined.
Yeah, okay. Seems like this is going to be more used than Element is. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I got banned on Discord for being associated with the group, blocked my phone number and all. Yeah, that's what. Especially, were you an admin on it? Because I know that happens. That happened to Chris for Elle's Discord. So when she got banned, her whole thing got nuked. The admins, and he was an admin on it, like, they all got banned too. So I just think it's going to happen eventually. So.
Well, that sucked, because it was like they first off, it was wrong to target some people the way they did, but they didn't just target that person. They targeted like one circle around that person as well.
Yeah.
And and I was big on Discord like a year ago. I was part of several groups.
Oh, okay.
And when that happened, it tore the groups apart. Half of the people stayed back on Discord, half went to Gilded, but it's here we are a year later, it's still not fully repaired yet. But it's just we have to go to Gilded, because at Discord it's just too risky. And I would not put anything on Discord, because chances are it's not going to be permanent. It will. I mean, nothing's permanent, but Discord, it's extremely not permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. So I wouldn't put anything important on Discord whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't put anything important online anyways, but especially not Discord.
Yeah. Well, then I think Gilded is a good backup to Discord then, and then I'll have Element as the third one. So yeah, we'll see. I think I keep hearing sounds. I don't know if this is just new people joining. Yeah. Okay. So it's
Igorog. I don't want to pronounce her name. Igorog. Is it Igorog?
It's an
Ego.
Well, it's an, oh my gosh, why can't I think of an anagram of George, George.
Oh, okay.
Because so on YouTube he has George Igorog on there, but he's just Igorog. But I pronounce it Igorog because it sounds like a D&D character or something, or like a caveman. Igorog.
Well, I would go with the soft G's, and I would go Igoraj.
No.
Wow, that face! Wow, that was a face of disgust.
Like that at all. Disapprove. I know, because I know it's George with like the soft G's on there, but like when it's like, no, it has to be Igorog.
I mean, that would be like the French version or something, right? Like the
yeah. Well, but no.
No.
I like Igorog better. It just sounds more hearty. he sounds like a good barbarian who can last in battle for a long time.
Well, why? But yeah, that's the thing. I that's one stereotype I hate about gaming is the barbarian is always like Grog the barbarian. Like, can the barbarian's name be like Steve? I mean,
Mine, when I played one for like a one shot or couple or whatever it was, he was a Tabaxi barbarian, and his name was Percy. Percy Tabbington. So it's PurrCyTabbington.
oh, that's kind of cool. The
So
close, the closest I got to that kind of thing was I made a paladin one time who was more or less a barbarian. Um, and I named him Ziggurat, and he went by Ziggy. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like that. I like the word ziggurat too. Yeah, I like to kind of subvert because like when I did a paladin, it was like a 12-year-old girl and who was like an idiot, but it was like really gung ho about it, and so her catchphrase was "for justice" as she held up her sword. So she thought she was like really good, but like I think it was like she thought she was lawful good, but she was more just like neutral good because she didn't really understand how things worked and also like to eat a lot. Um, but like I took I gave up certain things to take like feats and did like had her be brawny, so she was just like super strong and like really anime character.
Did you have the spiky hair and?
No, I think because she was an Asimar too, so she did have
Oh,
wings
gotcha.
when she
Okay.
Asimar'd out. And then I named her Amara, and I realized it was again an oh my gosh, why did I keep an anagram? I keep trying to think of acronym. Anagram of so Asimar anagrams to Amara is so like Amara is
Is
Asimar.
Asmar.
Yeah.
Now those are the ones where they're like basically half elemental, half human,
They're
right?
like kind of, yeah, I think it's like you're touched by celestial beings or something, and so they're like so whatever it is, they're like sort of have that in their bloodline. So I think a lot of times they had like white or gold hair or something though. So I kind of never I kind of pictured because I took an anime character with red hair. It was kind of how I based it. So I kept picturing her with that, but I was like, I think she has white hair because she's an Asimar. But um, but yes, that was fun to play. So that's why I like to do like all kinds of tropes that, or make ones like I made like essentially Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z and called him Kamehameha, and he was a monk, and so I just like kind of built that character.
Well, since I do need to do one self-indulgent thing before we continue. I guess since the gilded thing was a hit with these people, with these people,
These people.
our viewers, our beloved viewers, who I love each and every one extremely much. Um, I have my own gilded group, and it's the niche for it. It's not political in nature. It's just straight up a gaming server, online gaming server for people to use.
It's
So I'm
funny when I started my Discord server and then I brought it was mostly people from Unsafe Space. Like I had intended for it. I was like my streams are not going to really be political. I kind of wanted to just like leave it open, but then because it was Unsafe Space people who I love, it was just sort of like instantly kind of went into like here's the politics and stuff too. So I was like, well, not going to be able to hide from like hide the beliefs from like woke people now. So I'm just going to go full into this. And then we ended up moving occasional levity over anyway, so it was like, all right, like, oh, it doesn't
Well,
matter anyway.
I'm part of. I watch so much pop culture stuff and political stuff, and those two Venn diagrams overlap a lot more than they used to. And of course, then we were just talking about relationship stuff with men and women. Throw that in there too, because it's got political and pop culture, ramifications. So I was like, you know what? I want a literal safe space with a very niche purpose, and that is to just be an online gaming server for gamers to collect and communicate and meet each other and then decide to play games together, whether they stream it on the Gilded group or they're streaming it somewhere else. But it's just a place, think of it as like a lobby or like a train station where people just go to and just to meet other people. And I set it up that way.
And you have a lot of people in there too, for someone who like doesn't have his own, like channel of stuff though.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm up to 90. It's up to 90, and I keep saying it's not. I don't consider it mine. I consider it ours. This is something philanthropic I'm doing for the masses. Um, I uh, uh, I'm putting this up here. I put it up here for everybody else to use. I'm just I am one of the administrators. We have a couple Twitch people on here, like Green Leader and Magus. That his name is Steve, literally, and I just put it. I just put it together. I'm just kind of like I see myself as just kind of like the concierge, if you will, of this group. I'm just the one that put it together. So. But anyways, yeah, we're up to 95 people, which is actually kind of big for a gilded group. I've been going to different places and asking people to join, and they've been joining. If we could hit 100 people by the end of the stream, that would actually be my one birthday.
Well, I just joined, so
well, up to 95.
One more. Yeah,
one more. So 5 more. If 5 more people click that gilded link right there, it's an invite. You'll be a member of my group. Lots of cool people there. The atmosphere is very chill, very very chill. Yeah, Mega62M on Twitch.
Yeah, I see the ones that are joining in the other one too. I don't know whose names are who because you're not. This is the issue that I have with like YouTube to Rumble. Like you guys have different names and I don't know who's who. And then in Rumble onto Discord onto Gilded, I'm like you need to. This is why I'm just the dim side on everything.
So the next section of tonight's stream begins now. And
wait, are we supposed to talk more about like what we're bad at things?
Oh yeah, let's go back to that. Do you have an answer for that?
Well, the first person shooter is like I like them. It depends. Like the Left 4 Dead ones I like. But I normally don't really get into them too much. So I didn't know. Like, do you have stuff?
Yeah. Well,
are there other things outside? I mean, the ones that you listed already.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Miniature golf. Well, okay. So here's how I even got onto this question in the first place. First thing was, there's one thing that I am not good at and I hate. And I hate it even more because I'm not good at it, but I naturally don't like it. And that is billiards. That is playing pool.
And you call it billiards too?
Well, if I said pool, people would be like, what do you mean you don't like playing in the pool? No, billiards, playing pool. So because I hate it and I'm not good at it. And a close second would be tennis. And I think the reason is because not that I'm a very athletic, dexterous person, but tennis and billiards, they take such an extreme amount of coordination and dexterity that people who do those two things very well, I have extreme respect for them because I know how difficult they are. I'm very horrible at both of them.
I said something that we're terrible at. Okay, I don't mean this in a conceited way, but I have just always been a pretty quick learner on things, so I pick things up pretty quickly, and then I think if I dedicate enough time to it, because that's something I will practice stuff and a lot, so that's why it's kind of hard for me outside again first person shooters, but other things too. I'm like, if I'm bad at it, I don't know if I've really tried to I just do things that I'm interested in and then either learn quickly or work on it. So I'm trying to think of other ones that I'm terrible at. Like pool, I don't play often. So I think I can't. It's weird. It's I can be really terrible at that half the time, like bowling, where I'm I can either do I'll be strike, gutter ball, strike, gutter. It'll be really hit or miss. Even mini golf too, where there've been times again I've gotten holes in one, and then also where I remember one time that my dad was telling me that we had to hit it up this hill. And I was where there's a brick wall in the back. So, and then he said, and then there was a stopper on the hill part too. So he was like, oh, it won't be able to come back down. You just have to hit it up there and it'll stay up there. And I proved him wrong because I hit it too hard and it bounced off the brick wall and came flying back down. So it's just sometimes I could be good or really bad, but it'll be both. And if I committed to practicing enough, then I can get better at it. But I just don't always have the money. I'm terrible at being rich. Is that count?
But I love it. But the two other that you just reminded me, there's two other things that I'm not so good at, but I really, really enjoy. And one is bowling. And another one is skee ball. Love skee ball.
Love skee ball.
Suck at it.
But again, that's something there I can a lot of times I'll be getting into the corner and I can just do that the entire time, but then or I'm just failing, and so it's really high highs and low lows.
I have a little sister, younger sister, and she was absolutely obsessed with skee ball when she was little, and like we'd go to an amusement park and there's that row of games. She would ignore the rides and go right to the skee ball. And it got to the point where like my dad would just carry like rolls of quarters with him. And that's all she wanted to do. That's all she wanted to do was a skee ball. So, and then of course like the Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that. So I forget where we were at. But she was playing skee ball and she was really good at it. Like she could get like in the 500 or the 1000, like repeatedly. Right. And there always was like that 5,000 point cup, like way up in the top. And she always aimed for it. Well, there was this one skee ball machine that she was playing on one time. And she rolled the ball, it bounced up and it lodged. The cups are like PVC cups, and the ball lodged right in between. It stuck there. So she like, what now? And so she went and got the guy. And she goes, my ball is stuck. And the guy was like, nah, just walk up there and throw it in a hole. So my sister walks up there on top of the skee ball machine. She was like 8 years old, and she picked up the ball and she's like, and there was this moment of decision in her mind, and she put in the 5,000 points. Bloop. And the points are going up. Blah, 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 blah. So then she was like, aha, she has a new scam. So what she did was she kept getting the ball stuck there. And she'd be like, oh, shucks. And she'd walk up there and put it in 5,000. And the tickets are streaming out of the machine. I mean, she had a pile of tickets like this, And of course, you go and you cash in tickets, you get 10,000 tickets you spend 10,000 tickets and get one of those little like rubber octopus wall crawlers.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, my sister was obsessed with that.
Skillful to get it stuck, to be bad enough to do it like in the right spot to be able to like scam your way into it. I love that.
Yeah, like she couldn't get it in the 5,000 point hole, but she could get it like wedged in between that one and the one next to it.
That's awesome. You pick things up quickly, like when you drop them. Actually, I do love anything that has like it's quick hand movement stuff, because they have, I think it was at Dave and Buster's, they've got like this giant light thing that you have to like slap all the lights to turn them off, and there's the one that lights up around the circle and you have like 4 colors and stuff and you have to try and get it on the jackpot. Anything that's like just, I guess, reaction, like anything that's timing wise. There's a game called Stacker, and so you try, like, it has like the red thing, blocks that go across and you're trying to stack them up and it gets faster and faster, but they're all rigged. So like when you do it at a arcade or something, they cheat you out of it, so I can get like always really close. But I've done stuff where I'm like, where they're unrigged, like on whatever apps and things too that don't do it, and I can do really well on those, but it's always hard to get it at but I will get addicted to like Stacker and just keep trying forever on that. The light thing, so I love like just having to be really fast on stuff. So yeah, like when I drop them, I love when I can ninja catch something and like as it's falling and I just reach down and like I catch it in the air.
Well, guy in the room says I was kind of good at flip cup, terrible at beer pong. The same way. I love. No, I think it's no. He's talking about the game where you put the cup half on, half off the edge of the table, and you flip the cup up, and you keep
stacking is another fast thing.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, but you flip the cup up, and if it lands right side up, then the next person gets to go.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a drink game. Again, I'm terrible.
Oh, because I don't really drink.
Well, yeah, me neither. I don't really drink.
I never really came across the game much because
Yeah, drug of choice is caffeine and nicotine, not alcohol. But so flip cup, I'm horrible at it. Love it. Beer pong, I'm horrible at it, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm probably not. I don't know. I think I've only played maybe once or twice. I don't remember how well or poorly I did. See, again, it's just there are certain things like I might be really terrible at stuff, but I just haven't really done it enough to know or like remember what I've done. Because then like it's more things that I will keep doing what I like to do. But I do know I get frustrated. Like sometimes if I'm like practicing a song on the piano and I'm trying to play it perfectly, but then like I keep messing up or something, like I will get very angry and like I can't do. Oh, I did that with what's it called? DDR. There have been times where like I'm trying to do like the certain dance. Like I remember in college, like I was flipping out though because I was so mad that I couldn't get this one. Then like just like screaming at my roommate. He's just like, whoa. So there have been times because I'll just like get so worked up. Then like, no, this isn't working.
And the cup stacking. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those videos, and it's usually like kids doing the Rubik's Cube challenges and whatnot, but also the cup stacking. amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids, they just like.
I loved we only did it in high school, like, once or twice. Always wanted my own. I never got it, though, but I loved Cupstead because, yeah, just having to like, anything.
It's very like this the sound and the motion. It's very pleasing. What do they call that one? That's like not ASMR. Well, ASMR, but there's some
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
haptic. It's like very haptic. I guess is the word.
Okay.
That's a new buzzword. Haptic. That's when you get like feedback from.
It's in, they use the haptic systems or something in Ready Player One, so they actually use the word haptic a lot in Ready Player One, the book,
Okay.
which is what we're reading for our technically read along, but instead we're just going to read the whole thing because I'm flying through it. So at some point, probably whenever Alex gets done, so in the next month or so, we're going to be doing like a book club, and then because I'm ready, I've got 9 chapters left. I'm ready. Like I'll be good to go, and because I love that book, so we'll be talking about that, and then moving on from that, we'll be doing Ready Player 2, and we'll be doing like I think we'll do it once a month. We'll do a stream once a month and be doing like however like a certain we won't finish the whole book, but we'll do a certain number of chapters. I'm trying to figure out what I can commit to, and like at least 1 chapter a week, if not maybe more. So I just don't know yet.
Well,
But so we're doing something book club.
I forget. So remind me and everybody else too about the book club that you and Alex have.
Yeah, when it gets closer, or
Well, like, is it the Wednesday stream or the Thursday stream?
it'll be on Saturday. It'll be a Saturday night. Is it Saturday? I think Saturday. Yeah. So Alex streams Saturday night. So we're going to do it after she's done on her channel. And so
Okay.
it'll probably be around like 11 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be a late night. And that's why I think it was Igorog who called it bedtime stories with Beverly and Alex. And I really like just because it's so late. I really like the idea of bedtime stories. But Alex said there's already a thing called that. I don't care. I'm probably going to use it anyway.
Maybe pajama party or sleepover party or something. I don't know. Wait, is that gonna be on your stream or Alex's stream?
On mine. It'll be
Okay.
on my channel.
On this channel. Okay.
So it'll be at some point on a Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern. Just not sure which one yet. So
When
but you
when
guys can read the book.
when Alice gets off her butt.
Well, it's what I thought I was going to be way more behind, but I just got hooked on listening to the audiobook, and because and I've already read it twice, so I already know what's going to happen. So that was easier for me. But afterward, that's why I'm going to be a lot slower. This one we just wanted to get done with and do because I wanted to do the sequel. So now that we can, so like we can't start off with the sequel, we have to do the first book. So that's why I'm rereading it. But it's a great book. I love it.
So you're working on Ready Player One now, and then it will be followed up with Ready Player 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So then, but it's TBD as far as like how fast we're going to be doing it. But we'll be doing monthly streams of it. I just don't know the dates yet. So keep an eye out for that.
Hopefully monthly streams.
Yes, so I can commit to. That's why when we first did it, I was like excited, like, oh yeah, like once a week I can do a chapter a week and we can stream about that. It'll be, and then afterward I was like, why did I think I could commit to doing another weekly show? Like this was a bad idea. I'm like once a month I can do. It was just I need to balance my ability to like commit time to reading and also like I'm like, how do I do that with another stream? And so I'll figure it out. Let's see. I was kind of good. I flip cup, dumb college game, beer pong equals let's drink dirty pong ball beer. Yeah. I mean, I would probably be grossed out by that. Like I'm so picky. Like I don't like taking like food or drinks in the bathroom. Like I won't do that. Like even if it's nowhere near a toilet, like it just kind of like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Yep. But I'll also eat food off the ground. Like I've eaten the pumpkin cheesecake pie that fell onto the gravel and then put it back in the pie and then wasn't planning on eating it, but it was smelled so good that I did. So I'm like, and then I also found a peanut. I found a peanut in the pocket of my hoodie today.
A what?
A peanut.
Okay.
Not penis, peanut. And I ate it and I knew it was just from because I was eating it earlier and it fell in at some point, but this is where it's gonna be gross. Is that I had with DVD when like he was bleeding and stuff. Ended up putting band-aids on him, whatever type of like bandages, so to stop the bleeding. So I put like both on around his bill to like hold on to it, and then eventually it started, like I kind of peeled one part off because I wasn't sure if he could like open his mouth enough for like eating, and like he was fine for now. I just want the bleeding to stop, and so I peeled it a little bit so he could like open up more, and eventually it started like wearing off and came off. So I pulled it off. shoved it in my pocket. So I had those bandages inside my pocket. And then after I threw those out, I also found the peanut in my pocket. And I was like, well, I don't want to waste this. And the ginger was like, you could just throw it outside. Like the rabbits will eat it. And I was like, it's too late. I already ate it.
Oh, hey, wait. I got to step away for a second, okay?
Oh, sure. That's fine.
Okay. Entertain the troops while I'm gone.
The only drinking game I play is waking up the next morning and finding the spiciest thing to eat. Why? Why? I always lose. Wait, does that mean you lose because you don't find the spiciest thing, or that you going up against the spiciest thing makes you lose? And why is that? Is it a hangover thing that you choose to do the spiciest? I don't understand your choice in this, Mutter Fetcher. Here, let me go back up here. What else have I been ignoring? Any game that has a tank character, I choose the female option and name it after my wife. The best, Motor Fetcher. Pocket peanuts are the perfect snack. Thank you. See, you get it. And your avatar's bananas. Like, you obviously understand food. So, and again, it was the peanuts because I had it in the creamy peanut butter because they don't sell the crunchy ones lately. So I had to mix them both in. And at some point, peanut fell into my pocket. You know, it happens, right? What else do I have to say? My mouth wins, my asshole loses. TMI, Mutter Fetcher. TMI. The other okay, so I am considering, again, I don't think I can do this weekly, but we'll see if I can ever figure out how to do time management. But I am considering doing some game streaming. I might also do it on Twitch, but I'm trying to get my Nintendo Switch hooked up, and I have a capture card that might work. I have no idea if my internet's going to do well at all with that, but I do plan on trying it and playing different Switch games because that'll give me an excuse to like just be able to play like Super Mario World when I want to, and then also like kind of hold myself accountable to like, hey, this is supposed to be done on the stream. So, and he's back. Birthday boy is back.
Oh, microphone on. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. That's a game. I don't know. That's like they must
Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 4, technically.
Oh, well, just a Super Mario Brothers franchise. They must weave crack cocaine into the code somewhere because I don't care. Every time I get the new Nintendo system, they always put out a new Super Mario Brothers. I buy it first. Sometimes it comes with the game system. I buy it first automatically, and I play it, and I'll play it 2 or 3 times in a row. And I can't get it. I don't know what it is about Mario Brothers. It's great.
Yeah, I don't do the newer games now because like the Japanese are really showing their Japanese on a lot of the new games because it's just like bright colors, like really flashing in your face for like, I just wanted to drive my cart around this circle, and like instead like
Yes.
now we have like the hang gliding and other things there too. I'm like, this is too fancy. Like I don't need all of these extra things. So I don't really like that as much. I was so sad because I really love Mario Party, the original one, like the OG version. I never played anything except in college. I played like 7 or 10 or something with my roommate, and I was like, this sucks. And so I saw they have the Switch version, and it has like the original Mario Party, but they redid the game. So they made them like 3D, and this isn't the same. Like the mechanics are going to be different. Like I'm boss at a lot of like, I can do balloon burst, facelift. I can get 100s on those. I loved the grab bag, which is like butt rape is what I also call it though, because like I don't know if you've ever played the game, but you just have like a bag behind you, and then so they're running around and you're trying to catch them from behind, and then you wriggle them and they're like so that one's like one of my favorites, obviously. And Yoshi's my favorite Mario character, so that's why I love Super Mario World, because I only play with Yoshi. I kill off Mario, I play as Luigi, and I get Yoshi, and then I play the game. On the levels that you can't take Yoshi with you, I bring Mario back to life, let him play those levels, kill him off again, and go as Luigi and Yoshi.
That is funny. So Mario side, you commit Mario side
Our
in the
side, yes, yeah.
yes. He's like he's like a
Luigi's the better brother.
he's like a clone. You just keep coming bringing back so you can just kill him off
Yes,
again. Like
and that too, like, I'm good at those mechanics, in it, but then, like, was it Super Mario Advance or something on the Game Boy Advance? They redid Super Mario World, but they changed the physics in it, so, like, Mario was shorter, Luigi was taller, and they, like, worked differently, and no, I don't want them to, like, jump differently, I want it to just be the original game, which I think the Switch does, I think it is just the original one, because I know how to, like, move, I know when to jump and, like, be able to just hit things and not have to, like, do extra work. I can like glide through levels pretty easily.
yeah, well, here's another controversial opinion of mine. And I think I see people in chat talking about this, but of the original Mario's back on the original Nintendo system. Which wait, by the way, I have a question. Is there a difference between Nintendo and NES?
NES was the original Nintendo, and then Super SNES was the next one. So yeah,
Okay,
NES is the original Nintendo.
okay, so yeah, Nintendo, the NES. Yes, I know that the Japanese version of the second Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Bros. 2, is different than the American version.
They just mapped over it. It was like a totally different game, and then they mapped over with Mario characters. Is what
Yeah,
I
it was like it was like
learned.
a Aladdin game or something, but
Was it out?
it's still my favorite. The
Really?
Super
I
Mario
liked
Brothers
the
2
game. I
is
did
my
like it.
favorite. It's my favorite, and even like, and this is way back in the day. This dates me. This really dates me, but the ending,
Aladdin makes sense because they do like the weird flying thing though, which I guess without a rug, but it kind of
yeah,
seems more magical.
yeah.
Sorry,
And
you're
then at
saying
the and Bowser doesn't make an appearance. The main guy you beat at the end is a big toad looking. I mean, a physical like frog toad guy with a
I
crown.
thought
He's
it
like,
was like the bird thing that shoot, or is that a different one? I thought there was one that shot eggs out. When was that? Was
um,
that in the second one? I can't. It's been so long since I've played any of the first three. Because again,
uh,
once Mario World was the one that I always did, so I didn't play the other ones as much.
yeah, I
Everyone
don't.
hates change. Got it. I do hate change.
Yeah, but I remember like that end battle scene was so epic and climactic. I actually recorded on a VCR because I had it set up with a Nintendo through the
Birdo,
VCR
yeah.
to the TV, the Nintendo through the VCR through the TV, where I could record me playing, and I actually recorded me beating that final boss. And
Mm.
I remember like there's two to go back to a previous topic we were talking about earlier. There's two games that when I finished, I felt a sense of accomplishment, and that was Super Mario Brothers 2, and that was Halo. Like when it was over, I was exhausted and like sweaty, and oh, but I loved it.
Huh. Yeah. I don't remember. Like, yeah, the first three, I cannot remember any like much about them. But Birdo is in two. I don't remember like beating them, like what the ends are. Like, but Mario World, yeah, I know that one way more. I know like all the secrets and stuff there. Atari was the original Nintendo. I think I probably talked about this on a stream recently, I believe. The Sega Saturn, because I really love the game of Stall, and that's one that I want to play too. But my CD is like kind of scratched up. But that's great. You get to play a little redheaded boy. I like to play the player 2 character, which is just a bird, which is like a purplish, bluish green bird. So I get to like fly around and just smack people with my wings, like all the bad guys, and peck at them. I guess I was always destined to get birds on a farm eventually.
I don't know, but butt raping and pecking men,
Are these not normal things that people enjoy?
they're totally normal. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I forget what the peanut thing that I was telling the ginger. I said something. I forget what he said. Like, you don't have to eat that. And I'm like, yeah, but then I'll have something to talk about on stream, like the weird stuff that I do on stream. And it's like, yeah, but like, but then it's just like you don't have to do like that's just so you're doing something like for the weirdness. Like, no, I wanted to eat the peanut. Like that was the main reason why. It was just I wanted, and then so it's like stupid things happen to me. I'm like, that'll be a funny story later, but I'm not doing it just for the story. I'm doing it because I wanted to eat the peanut. Want to make that very clear. I did not want the peanut to go to waste.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with it. I would have eaten the peanut too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, because when you think about it, the peanut itself is made of some matter, and then maybe the stuff around it is made of. It's all matter. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm probably
It's not
not
like
get
you're.
sick.
Yeah, it's not like you were drinking bleach. I mean, it's like you're eating mostly natural stuff. So.
Yeah, it just happened. Potentially, it was covered in duck blood, but you know,
Maybe this is your origin story.
I'm gonna have duck powers. I don't even know what powers would I get. I think I'd rather be a goose though, just because they're bigger and more aggressive, and they don't take guff from anyone.
I would be a goose if I could be a Canadian goose. Only that. If not, then I'd be a mallard duck.
Why do you want to be a Canada goose?
I just think Canadian geese are like beautiful, even though I know they're dumb and messy and stupid.
All geese are dumb and messy and stupid.
Well, that's true. Then I don't want to be a goose at all. You talked me out of it. I want to be a duck.
No,
I want to be a mallard duck.
oh, I mean they're dumb too. Like they're you're not gonna get like smart ones around.
Well,
So,
okay, fine. I want to be a crow or a
okay,
raven.
they're probably, yeah. I would say that they're gonna be smarter. But the geese they're all fun though. I mean, like MTM. I don't talk about her as much, but she's the one that's blind in one eye, and she's a Cayuga duck, so she's really beautiful. So it's like black with like hints of green or purple, like depending on the sunlight hitting her and stuff too. So like it
Oh
kind of,
wow.
but she is also weird because I just remember when my dad like farm sat for us when we were gone for a few days or something, and we came back and he was talking, he was saying something about them, and he just like stood there and like looked at her, and he's like, that one's weird. It's just like this dead, like this distrusting way you said, like, that one's weird.
Suspicion. He's
And I'm
suspicious
like,
of the dumb
why?
duck.
Yeah, he said, I don't know. It's just something because she is weird though, but she'll just like stand around, like she'll just stand there and not do anything. Like I don't know what she's thinking. She's just kind of hangs out, and then but then she'll like quack really loudly sometimes because we give them baths in the bathtub here over winter because it's like too cold outside. But then she'll always try to like come out, like escape. She flies out and she'll escape and try to like go in. We have like the board games right next to it, so she tries to like sneak back in there. I think she just likes being in confined spaces and probably dark spaces. I don't know why, but she walks backwards a lot too. Like she just kind of shuffles backwards. So she's weird. Like I get it. I understand what he mean. Like I wanted to know why he thought that, but I agreed without knowing why too. I'm like, yeah, I am suspicious of her.
That boy just ain't right.
Yeah. She's only laid one egg. That was weird too, though. Like I figured she might start more, but then why was it just the one? And it was a weird looking egg. I don't think she knew she laid it. She didn't like make a nest or anything. It was just there.
Hey, are you seeing this? Where'd this come from?
Yeah.
Was this here a minute ago?
What the fuck is that? She can't see out of one eye, so like she turns and like, whoa, where did that come from?
Oh, one depressing thought I saw from the whole train wreck thing in Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Which one? Because they keep getting them.
Oh, that's true. The big one.
The one with the chemical, spill.
East Palestine. Farmers have been posting pictures of the eggs that their birds have been laying lately, and they're all different shades of color, all different hues of color, and a couple of them are coming out misshapen, like actually lumpy and bumpy, or even like not even like egg shaped, like more oblong. And it's very alarming.
Yeah. See, that happens sometimes. Like you will. I mean, we do get colorful eggs. We have Easter eggers, so we get green ones and stuff. But and sometimes like they do come out like, oh, like you'll have like more splotchiness, like there'll be more a shell on it. It'll be bumpy because it's like, oh, they're having too much calcium right now. Sometimes they'll lay shellless eggs and it's just the egg without the shell, but like, oh, you need more calcium. So that happens occasionally, but if it's like consistent and like happening to a bunch of them, then like, hey, something's wrong here and causing that, because like even though it happens naturally, it's because like something isn't quite right in their diet or health, though, that's causing it. So clearly something is going on there, and I would be kind of hesitant to want to eat them then.
Yeah, that's a shame. And again, that goes back into animals being harmed, and I don't like that at all. and because they don't know what's going on. They don't, I mean, I'm not a PETA person or vegetarian by any stretch of the imagination. I'm all about, food chain and everything. But it's just, I guess it's just when an animal gets hurt because of either something humans built or did to them, they don't know. They're confused, and it upsets me.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's one thing of because we're intelligent enough to be able to do like we can do stuff without uh like tormenting them or like what's the word I'm trying to think of here, torturing them. So like you do like a clean kill, and I prefer if you use everything that you can out of it, like, oh, you're going to use the meat, you're going to use the feathers, you're going to like whatever it is, like you try to make use of all of it, so it's not just because like I don't really like the idea of like an animal just being used for fur or leather or whatever. I'm like, okay, like if you have that, then use the rest of it for something else too, though. At least like if use it, sell a meat or eat it or something, though. Like because like I don't know, I go back and forth on like for or just like my initial thought is to I don't like it all because we have like other clothing and stuff, so we don't really need it, but it also is warm. Like you don't like it is something like you can use like the skins and furs, like that is why humans use that beforehand, like they are able to do well in but I'm like, okay, but if you're going to use that, then you need to use more of the animal too. So I don't know. So I kind of waver on how I feel about like fur and leather.
I hope they do, and they should, for, like you said, humane reasons, but also just find use in everything. I guess is the point.
Yeah. Also, let me see in chat here. If you become a crow, you'll have to assist murdered souls in getting revenge before they can pass on. So,
Well,
have you considered that?
that's
Oh,
the
you'll
main
be
that's the main reason I'm doing it, Bev.
from Rick and Morty. The two was it Rick and Two Crows? I think that was that season 6, maybe season 5, something. It's fun. We haven't gotten there yet. We're going to be doing season 3 next Thursday, though. Everyone. That was from Johnny Boy. Guy in Room. Is that a pet cemetery goose? Which one? The weird one? She's a duck. But are you saying that like she's kind of creepy? So she's just weird. Like I don't trust that one. My black Australorp chicken has that blue-green sheen in the sun. Yeah. I got a picture. Whoop, how do I share this? Black Australorps are really pretty too. So the Cayuga, right now I'm not seeing as much because she's been, it's winter time and indoors more. But this is the Cayuga duck.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Cayuga. I don't know how it's pronounced, but yeah. So they're very pretty.
Well, I'm in Cleveland, and that's a big word up here because we're not Cayuga, but Cuyahoga. But
yeah, I think that's where it might have stemmed from, and then I don't know, like the name change or like something along the lines where it changed. But but I think it is supposed to be from that. Sometimes dead is better. Instead of like, I think we're talking about like animals and like whether they're tortured or like suffering or something. I'm assuming, is that what you mean, Guy? I'm Chernobyl geese. Oh yeah, right. Any sus eggs I give to the dog, she loves it. I get worried about giving animals bad things though too. I'm like, is this spoiled, or is this going to be okay to give them? But as long as they're hardy enough, like if I don't want to eat it, like should they? But Corey, like he'll dig into stuff that he shouldn't all the time too. So the government, like I've tested the water in Ohio and claimed it was safe, but the chemicals sink to the sediment at the bottom of streams and rivers. When you disturb the water, you see a greasy rainbow. Yeah, which is pretty, but I mean, we have that too, like because oil would come up in the creeks here because that's just the oil area, and less so now. But that was like how the Native Americans used to like what's it called, like skim the rivers, and that's how they would collect the oil. But like so they would be kind of rainbowy with some of the glow from the oil on there. Government testing defeated by a stick sounds pretty on brand. Yeah. Yes. The blind hurt. Did the stream crash or is it just me? Did the stream crash on you, Judge Lot? Is it still working on you? Check YouTube, but you can't hear me if it's on here. Everyone else seems to still be hearing things, I think. Let me check. Let me play. Yeah, it looks like it's still going on my end, so hopefully it starts back up. That's a Pet Cemetery quote. Which one's a Pet Cemetery quote? Oh, the sometimes dead is better. Yeah. Okay. I remember I've seen both of them. Did we talk about it for a stream? I don't remember why I watched both. Maybe it was just because I was curious to compare them. And I thought it was interesting that Pet Cemetery that they changed which child died in between like the original film and the newer one. Because I think was it like the girl dies in the original, or the older one dies in the original. And I think in the new one, the younger one, whichever it is, it's opposite. But I think it was the younger one who died in the new one.
That's a
Maybe
strange thing to change.
it kind of made it more interesting to me because, like, like seeing like a 2-year-old do everything, like, okay, like, that's more terrifying, I guess. Maybe I'm too cynical, but the government isn't stupid. Testing the water without disturbing the sediment would give them plausible deniability. Yeah, you know what? I think they are stupid, but I also think they're manipulative and intentionally doing, because it's like, well, they're doing this because they're terrible, and like, and they might believe that this is the right way that we need to do stuff, so that's what they're stupid about. But I do think they're like conniving enough to do terrible things that will benefit them. It's back. Had to refresh 3 times. Rumble is good. Sorry, Mr. Lot. Yeah, Rumble has been given us flack today. Okay, so what else do you have?
Okay.
That we need to talk about?
Yes. So, the second gift.
There's more gifts.
Yes, there are more gifts. This is phase number 2. The second, my cat's back and she's adjusting herself. So,
yeah, I'm surprised Corey hasn't come.
So, phase 2. So, and this there's some stipulate. This is we're gonna have a small contest here live right now on your stream, and this is only for, you have to be over in Rumble. And yes, so if you're on YouTube, there's another reason to get off YouTube and jump over to Rumble right now. But I'm a huge fan of the game DayZ, which is the zombie post-apocalyptic open world game. It's a great game.
I don't know it. That sounds awesome, though.
What?
Yeah, I don't know this.
I thought we had to have talked about this before. DayZ? You ever heard of it?
Wait, how is it spelled?
Daisy.
I was thinking DAISY.
No, not Daisy. No,
Okay.
not. I know the people say,
Okay,
like, "Whoa, what's this Daisy? It's an anime game, Daisy." No, DayZ.
Like, okay, you have mentioned that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about it though.
It's a great game. It's a game you can just. It's got all.
Where do you play it?
You can. It's on. You can play it on. You can play it on console. You can play it on consoles, but the best way is on PC through Steam. You buy it and play it. Launch.
Yeah, I don't really do console anymore outside of the Switch.
Yeah. So do you game on PC? Do you do any PC?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have, like, you think at least an average PC for graphics and processor?
I did just like the most powerful one that I could really get, that we built for streaming and editing and gaming and stuff too. So yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, it'd be great as long as it's average. But the thing is that I say DayZ and people always,
my internet's bad though. Computer's good.
Okay, well it doesn't. No, it doesn't use a whole lot of resources as far as the internet is concerned. But you were talking about, what zombie game were you talking about earlier on the stream? Left 4 Dead. So whenever I play DayZ, people confuse that with Left 4 Dead, The Last of Us, all these other zombie games. What's the one? Is it Left 4 Dead where it's very high action packed, where you're like running through like a mall and there's hundreds of zombies behind you, and you're constantly
at least that is one of them, if there are others, but yeah, that one has it.
It's not like that at all. Okay, it's an open world game. It just happens to take place during, like, actually kind of after the apocalypse. The apocalypse already happened, so it's like the aftermath of it. So like you're alone.
Okay.
Yeah, you're alone, but it's an online world, open world, and so you meet other players in the game, and there are zombies. Yes, that's why it's called DayZ. But the thing is it hits all the little serotonin boosts of all the other games. Like there's it's a zombie game, so it hits that. It's post-apocalyptic, it hits that. It's survival, it hits that, and horror, and it's got some Minecraft to it, and it's got some resource management to it, and so it's a real-time strategy to it. So it's like it hits all the right, for me, and I think for most people, all the right serotonin like boosts, all points, buttons, whatever. It's just that it's and even though the game is 10 years old and they haven't really even updated it that much, I mean, they update it regularly, but little tiny updates here and there, but it doesn't get the support that like Call of Duty gets, or any kind of games, Halo, any kind of games like that. And it's from a little company in Czechoslovakia called Bohemia Interactive. And it's actually, they actually used a little fun fact here, mythology. It takes place in a fictional country, and the map is huge. The map is like 20 miles by 20 miles, so the map is absolutely huge that you can run around. And the Czechoslovakian company, they actually they used Google Maps, and they actually took a section of Czechoslovakia, and they altered it a little bit to make it to change it up for the game, but it mimics almost building for building it's a representation of this section of Czechoslovakia. But anyways, it's just a great game. When I'm bored, or if I'm hyped up and I want to shoot zombies in the head, or if I'm just bored, I just want to hang out, like I just log on, I just hang out on there. It's just a great freaking game. So and I talk about it a lot. I talk about it so much that other people tell me to shut up about it. So I have bought the game for myself, obviously, but I have bought it for several other people by this point as well. And it's my birthday, and I want to buy it for someone else yet again tonight, one of our viewers.
Yeah.
So, but this is gonna be a contest. So what you have to do on Rumble, today's my birthday, so I just turned a new age. You have to guess what my age is, but it has to be in the form of a super chat to Bev's channel.
Oh.
Any non-super chat will be ignored. So you have whatever the minimum dollar amount is, $1, whatever, you have to at least pay to suggest one number, what my age is, and it has to be a super chat to Bev. And the first person who guesses my age correctly, I will buy the game for them. And I would have to friend each other on Steam, and I have my Steam friend code right here. And what we'll do is when we determine who the winner is. So the contest starts now. Go, but whoever the winner is, I will buy Daisy for them. And if that goes too fast, I have a secondary contest to do as well.
We'll see if people want to super chat that in or not. $1 for a whole game, that seems good. And if they miss it, that like the closest one who doesn't go over.
We'll see. I really want to buy it for somebody, but I want to make it fun. I want people to try it. Yeah. So it is a $45 game. It is on sale right now. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I love the game. I'd be buying it for somebody right now if it was full price. Yeah. So it's normally a $45 game. It's on sale right now for $29. Yeah. But
okay.
So start. You have to submit your number to Bev in the form of a super chat, and the first one to guess my age, I will buy them the game.
I'm curious to guess myself though too, but I don't. So maybe I'll super chat myself later and guess it. I'll
tell you what, Bev. You, because you're the host of the show and you're kind enough to let me stream on your platform on a day off, even, I will give you one free guess.
Oh, well, I'll wait. I'll guess later. If people start sending them in though, then I'll wait on that so we don't do any spoilers. But before, we'll see if anyone wants to do that. I think that'd be worthwhile for a game like that. Especially, I might just end up getting the game too if it's on sale.
And I also love helping players get into games that I love. Like, for instance, we talk a lot about D&D and Pathfinder. I love helping new players into games that I love, including those games as well as DayZ. Not only am I helping them, but I get an extreme amount of reward from introducing people to a new game that I love. And I just love doing it. I love teaching people new things that I'm passionate about. And DayZ and D&D and Pathfinder are three of those things. So after the stream is over, God, it's already after midnight. Well, we're going into the wee early hours of the morning. At least I am. And I'm probably gonna play a little bit of DayZ after this stream, but definitely tomorrow and over the weekend. So if anybody, and there's also several DayZ players on my Gilded group that I posted above, and there's a little section for DayZ. But there's a lot of DayZ players who found me, and then I talked to them, and then they joined the Gilded group, and then we go into the game together and we play together on the game. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not seeing any super chats here yet.
We'll see if anyone, maybe there are not enough gamers in here. You guys going to be gamers? They don't want.
Very, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
We'll see. We'll give them some time.
Hey, well, then let's do another stipulation. If nobody guesses at all, then I'll buy it for Bev.
Oh, well then now that's not incentive though. If they don't play, then they're just not going to do it. You should still, if you don't want it, you don't have to super chat it in. You can still give your guesses though. So that way you at least get some guesses going. But if you're not interested in having the game,
I don't know why I don't know why anyone would not be interested in having the game. It's a great game. It's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah, it definitely sounds cool. And I have so many games that I want to play. I was just looking at it yesterday to see like what are all the ones that I've gotten on Steam that I haven't actually even tried yet. And but like time wise, there's that's why I'm like, if I'm gonna play a game though, now I was doing Wildermyth for or with Coley and Christ, so we were doing that, but I just haven't had time because I was trying to do it like after the Wednesday and Thursday streams, but now that we pushed it back, we're going later. So I was just talking to Coley, I'm like, I'm gonna need to figure out a new time for it. Oh, Mr. Lot is guessing.
We got our first one, Mr. Lot. He wagered $5 more than he had to, and he said that my age is 43. That is not correct.
Okay. Well, good guess, and thank you, Mr. Lot. 43.
Yeah, Igorog, Price is Right rules. Now that people are guessing, no. No, we're gonna go with you have to get on the number. Yeah.
Exact. Well, okay, we'll see if other people guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard to tell because some people are like, are you younger than you look? Are you older than you look? What do you even look like? Because I'm so bad at ages.
Well, okay, well, let me okay, well, that's good. Maybe a hint, because that was a little off, 43. I am older than I look.
You're older than you look. Okay.
Older than I look.
Huh. So if I over guess, it's just because you told me that you look old. So I'm going to be guessing higher than. So don't be offended if you're like.
Oh no. I'm not offended at all. I'm not someone who gets offended by that. I kind of brag about this because I'm like, hey, look, I am so and so years old. Look how good I look for that age.
Yeah. I feel like you might have mentioned your age at some point, but I can't remember now. Rumble won't let me set up a card for months, but 43 was my seemingly failed guess. Oh, so others were going to guess too. I'm sorry that wasn't that's not working for you, Mutter. But I'll let him pass. Like I think Mr. Lot can count for his guess, but it was 43 anyway.
I do have a and while that contest is going on, I do have a presentation. I did set up something to do a brief presentation about an interesting topic that I think I'd like to share with everybody. It involves a crazy time in American history. I don't know how much. I mean, is this too late for you, Bev? Like,
no, I can keep going.
Okay. Then I just want to go into that real quick. I want to go into that if I may.
I would. Yeah. Judge is asking, can you guess more than once? I would say yes.
Yeah, but you have to pay each time. Yes.
You don't have to do as much though. Start doing dollars, then you can just keep guessing.
Exactly right. You'll eventually get it. So there is. Let me see here. Okay, so the America between World War One and World War Two was freaking crazy. Um, there was, there was, uh, I mean, verifiable conspiracies going on within business, within government, and there's um there's a psychological element to it as well, because this was the time in between World War One and World War Two, and obviously we didn't know World War Two was coming just yet. But the soldiers came back from World War One all hyped up on adrenaline, and so they were looking for adrenaline fixes after World War One was over. And the same thing happened in World War Two, which is kind of why the 50s and 60s were kind of crazy. Okay, Mr. Lott has a second guess. For $3, he guessed 50. No, that is incorrect.
Even older than that, then?
That I'm not saying. I already gave a hint.
Yeah, I would say older then. Yeah. Okay. You were saying?
So, yeah. So, there was a
And wait, I will say to you, Mr. Lott, if you guess more, keep it under like $20 that don't pay more than what the game is worth right now.
Yeah, right.
Conspiracies, wars.
Oh yeah. So the whole psychological thing about when we go to a certain level of action or adrenaline, it becomes a drug because it's a chemical. Adrenaline is a chemical, and testosterone and estrogen, they're chemicals just like all other drugs that we imbibe. And so these soldiers, and part of it is PTSD, obviously, unfortunately, but these soldiers get used to that level of first off, they overcome fear, and they get used to the adrenaline. So after the war's over, they're looking for more adrenaline fixes. So the 20s, and of course, right after the World War One was the Roaring 20s, and crazy things happened during the Roaring 20s. And then after that was the 30s, which is the Depression. And still, even though it was a depression, crazy things were happening because people were just looking for any sort. I thought games were like $60. No, not this one. People were looking for all sorts of outlets for adrenaline, and so we saw some crazy stuff happen during
this one is discounted right now a lot, Judge. That just so it's normally 45, right? So it's normally 45 right now. It's a little bit lower.
Yes, it's usually 45. I think it's like 30% off or 20% off, down to $29. Yeah. So, but one thing that was very popular back in the day was during the 20s and 30s were circuses and sideshows, and the sideshows, and I'm not talking about the freak shows. I'm talking about the sideshows where customers would pay like $1 a ticket or a quarter nickel a ticket, and like they'd see a show or something like that. And usually it was something outrageous. You see people wrestling crocodiles and stuff like that. And there was something called a motor drome. Do you know what you ever hear what a motor drome is?
A motor drome?
A drome with an M.
Yeah. I have not.
You have not? Okay. Hold on 1 second here, because I am going to show you what a motor drome was. Motorcycles were absolutely huge in this era, and particularly Indian motorcycles. This is before the age of Harley Davidson. And Indian motorcycles, I'm not a motorcycle guy myself, but I've heard people talk about motorcycles, and they claim that Indian motorcycles were extremely powerful and fast, like more than they had to be. And so people who wanted adrenaline rushes tended to go for not only for motorcycles, but specifically Indian motorcycles, and then to do very dangerous stuff with them. And this was the birth of the motor drome. And I want to play a video here if I could. It's a long video, but I'm going to skip through it.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Veterans have a higher rate of automobile accident deaths, says Igorog.
They do. Can you see the screen? It says photographs.
I see motor drome. Oh, wait. Now I see it. Okay.
There we go. Okay. So I'm going to skip through this. Also going to turn on the volume here.
I don't think the volume's playing anyway. Or the sound's playing.
Okay, good. I'll turn it down. So this is typically these are pictures from the 20s and the 30s when this was when the sport became very popular. And this is even before NASCAR, because NASCAR didn't even come around until Prohibition. So here are guys going super duper fast on motorcycles, And that's what the typical motorcycle looked like. As you can tell, very little safety precautions. They weren't this the typical Indian motorcycle, and they had very little precautions, very little safety. If there was a wreck, somebody probably died. I want to fast forward through here a little bit. Okay, so Uniontown, I guess Pennsylvania. That's the only town I know. Here they're building one of the first motor drone tracks. Here's all the tracks in Uniontown, PA. Here's all the motor tracks that they built around the country. Okay, there's the engine. There's one of the motorcycles. Okay, Harley Davidson did exist. They weren't that big though at that time. And these motorcycles just went super fast around this track. And look, there'd be like dozens of them. And let me see if I can. Shrimp Burns. And they had great names, didn't they?
Are those like helmets, or was that just a hat, or was that a helmet? Oh,
well, let me back up. Yeah, see, it's just like an old leather helmet with like
It's so crazy to me that they didn't have like helmets. Oh, from a Coke bottle.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. And that's just crazy. That's just crazy. Wait, what did this say here? 8 world sidecar records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these were extremely popular. This was extremely popular for people to go to. So not only were these full motordromes built around the nation and around the world for that matter, but smaller versions of them were built at sideshows, at carnivals, particularly on Coney Island. Coney Island was a huge tourist destination back in the day, and so they had a lot of amusement parks. And there's a lot of stuff that we know today that originated from Coney Island, just because people were basically throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what stuck. Look how huge that is.
Wow.
Yeah, and you saw them putting together. Those were all wooden boards. So you saw them putting that together. Look how steep the embankment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. Which remember that, because we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that steep embankment. That's gonna play a role here in a minute. So Bev, speaking from a psychological point of view, that was pretty extreme, kind of exciting, but you would get bored with it after a while. So what's a way that you can take the motordrome and make it even more exciting?
A fight to the death.
Well, okay, not quite there. Let's go like just one notch above that.
Okay. Fight. I guess like rant.
You just keep saying fight.
Like tricks or something though.
Okay. What we're gonna do is, did you really not hear any sound on that video that I just played, by the way?
No, because it's StreamYard can be weird, like how you have to present it. So sometimes it works, or you have to click a tab or something when you go to present if it had it offering. So sometimes you have to share like your entire screen for the sound to go through. So
well then you know what? Then let me try. Hold on 1 second here. Then let me try that.
Aussie policemen are well mounted with horse and motorbike. For the Aussie bandit, it is just as quick off the mark as any other bandit.
How the announcers are.
Okay, so they made motorcycle chariot races.
Sydney Police Carnival. The cyclists have gone all Roman this year and put on a chariot race. Everything is mechanized today, so why not Ben-Hur? With ropes to steer the handlebars, the charioteers go all out, as if they were chasing an electric ancient Britain.
The chariot race, an idea they borrowed from Muzzo's capital, only with steady steel horses instead of the wonky wop ones. And what's more, they're advancing.
Even in the 30s in Australia, they had their versions of chariot racing, but Rome was never like this. It's a great race with Mark Antony just ahead of Caesar as they head for the Colosseum. Well, they're heading for something.
And so they would weld two motorcycles beside each other, on a with a frame. And just like chariots back in the olden days, the rider in the car, and look, they're actually wearing like helmets, like Greek or Roman helmets. The throttle and the brake was extended back to where they were in the chariot. Okay, and the video is almost over here. Okay, so Beth, let's say then, psychologically speaking, you get bored with this.
So cool to just watch the motorcycles without anyone like driving from behind.
Which, by the way, this is still a sport today. There are people
I
today
was
that still do
wondering, I was like,
motorcycle chariot
is
racing.
this still a thing? Did
Yeah,
they
this is
stop doing this?
this is still a thing. Not so much in America, but in Europe and
Okay.
and Australia, they do motorcycle chariot races. Yes. So people got bored with this eventually as well. So how would you keep in mind that I mentioned the steep embankments before a couple minutes ago. Once people got bored with this, how did they make it even more exciting?
Steeper banks.
Yes. What they did was they came up with what is and this is where death starts playing a role here.
Like, don't they have it in like skate parks and stuff, like where they've got like full tunnels, so then they're going upside down and things? I feel like this is, going to lead up to that type of lifestyle eventually.
Well, yeah, exactly. And this is, and so here's where they let me see. Remove from, okay, hold on one second. I'm just having a hard time presenting.
Johnny Boy, is that an Atlantic accent? Because I just think of like he's a news reporter. Like, oh, here, like extra, read all about it. We've got news going on here in the races.
Oh, Zeppelin touchdown today in Miller's Field. Thousands came out to see the spectacle.
It's as real as many other accents. Fun facts: both the English upper crust and Southern drawl accents are made up. They were affectations and didn't develop naturally. Aren't all accents kind of made up? And how it's like language starts developing.
Go-kart, so it's 4 wheels this time.
Oh.
Third act, it's riding one of these.
Sorry about that. Headphone warning. Sorry about that. I was trying to get it to play and it just spontaneously played. Okay, so this is a newer version of it. I had some hard time finding footage from the when it was originally done back in the day. But this is literally called the Wall of Death, and they do this today. But they started doing it back then. What they figured out was the embankments you saw in the Motordrome. The embankments were so high. Well, and the same thing is with NASCAR too. Those embankments are. I'm not a NASCAR fan, but apparently they're like 45 degrees or even greater. And due to the friction of the wheels, and then like the force of gravity down, but plus some force upward and the centrifugal force inward or outward, whatever. I'm not going to argue with that. The vehicle stays stable on a steep incline like that. So they kept making the incline steeper and steeper and steeper until the wall is near vertical. And they realized, and what happens is, so what they did was they built these circular rooms, and it's much like the rooms. I think, remember that ride where you would go into a circular room.
Thinking about the one that they attach, like that spins around and you're against the wall. And
yeah,
it uses the centrifugal force. Yeah,
and then the floor drops down, and you're like stuck to the wall, and you're spinning really fast. Same exact idea here. And so what they did was they would build these things, and you would pay a ticket, and you have to climb up because you had to look down into it. So you'd climb up these really high, and you'd be around the top there. And the motorcyclists would start down on the bottom. And the bottom's very flat, and then there's a slight gradual incline, and then there's the sheer wall. And they had to have enough speed in a very short distance of space, like we're talking 20 feet, in order to make it up onto the wall and stay up on the wall. And so, like I said, I couldn't find any footage from back in the day, but this is some footage from today in England, and this is a short video about a troop of people that do it real quick. Now, back in the day, this is more of a circus venue. This lady's going to be talking about. Back in the day, it was more of a contest where it actually was a race, like who could go around the wall more times fastest. There also was hitting and punching, trying to knock people off of the wall. Okay. And of course that would cause injuries and sometimes death. But here we go.
The first ride is the straight wall ride. The second act is our go-kart, so it's 4 wheels this time. Third act, it's riding one of these lovely ladies. And we do hands off, standing up, hands off, sitting on the side, standing on the side, a whole array of acts. It's an
So cool.
experience you can't compare anything in the world to. I'm Kerry Cameron, and I'm a Wall of Death rider, and I ride for Luke Fox's original Wall of Death.
See the Hell Riders race this afternoon. We'll take you way back in time, back to the late 1920s.
I started riding the Wall of Death by pure accident. I used to work with
Where did this wall come from?
And unfortunately, where I was working, the place shut down. So naturally, we went to the job centre, and I just typed in horse rider into the search engine, and Wall of Death rider came up. And I went down to the yard, and they had the wall built up. I knew there and then that was it. You do get very dizzy when you first learn to ride because you've got to build your stamina up to the dizziness. You have to be going at least 30 miles an hour to stay on, otherwise gravity will just whip you straight off. It's a mixture of three things, so balance, speed, and obviously a bit of stamina.
Wow.
Just lifting your arm up to wave goodbye to the audience is quite a feat. It is a good feeling being a female rider in this masculine environment. It gives me a great buzz because a lot of people, when they see you walk into the wall, they just think you're a bit of flash, you know. But as soon as they see you get on the bike, you can hear like murmurs saying, "Oh, there's a girl on a motorbike." See all their faces light up. And then after the show, all the girls, they were like, "Wow, you've got bigger balls than most of the men." But it's great to know that they're looking at you thinking, well, if you can do it, then so can I.
That's super cool.
Isn't that cool? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we're not done yet. Bev, people eventually back in the day got bored with that as well. So we've gone from the motordrome to the motorcycle chariot racing to the wall of death involving both motorcycles and now small vehicles. What would make it even more exciting?
Going upside down?
No. Involving lions.
Oh, of course. That is the next step. Jump that I would take would be lions.
Yes, there was.
Should have guessed that.
There was back in the heyday was in the 1930s, and it lasted up to the 1960s until there was a tragic accident.
This is what Julia been up to, says Igorok. That's what she's.
We found Julia. Yes, what they did was they involved lions, and they called it the Lion-drome, because what they did was they put lions down on the bottom, the flat part, and as the riders were going around the circle, around the wall of death in their vehicles or their motorcycles, the lions would swat at the riders. Okay.
See, I don't really like this on behalf of the lions, though, because like they're probably just terrified. Like you've got these things that's where they're swatting them because they think they're a threat. I don't know.
On top of that, eventually the lions became tame, being around humans so much, tame enough that the riders started putting the lions on the vehicles
That's
with
so
them.
dangerous. They can't consent to that.
Yes, and the lions enjoyed it. So much so that, and I'll show you some examples here in a moment, but so much so that it became a pair. It became like the rider Billy and his sidekick Simba, and
I want to see this lion enjoying it.
There would be a guy on a motorcycle and the lion in the sidecar next to him, and they're spinning around the wall of death. So here we go.
This isn't a gangster story, but a real novelty in motorcar rides. And here's the passenger. We wish we could show you our cameraman taking this picture. Shooting from the top wasn't good enough for him, so he went into the arena with Mr. Barry's expert for these close-ups. He made sure, though, that the lions had been fed first. And now Fearless Egbert and his jungle passenger are off on their circular tour.
Fearless
A real
Egbert.
thrill. Round and round they go. It's a thrill for everybody. Spectators, driver, lion, and our cameraman too. We call him Daniel now.
The cameraman?
I don't know.
And that's the end of the ride, and our story. And a good thing too, says our Daniel.
I don't know. I guess it was just sitting there, but he like kind of like, can I leave now? Okay. And like ran out of there. At least a lion wouldn't be nagging the guy to slow down. I gotta say, who was I talking to about this? There's like a difference in sitting in the passenger seat and being in the driver's seat. Like when I'm in the passenger seat, I'm more anxious about like how fast like we're going in a vehicle. Like I can just tell it. But when I'm in the driver's side, I do not notice it. Like I will be going like 70, 80 miles. I'm like, oh, should be going 55 here. Like I just like sometimes you just don't notice it. My car just really wants to go fast. Because I'm just like barely tapping on the pedal though, and it's just like, yeah, you want to go 90, right?
you want to go 90, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a picture. There's a lion in the sidecar there, and they are on the wall, and the wall of death. There's a lion in the sidecar, and there's someone driving that little jalopy there, and with somebody on the another person on a motorcycle here. I'm trying to go to the next picture. There we go. Here's one of the advertisements for it. Souvenir program, Lion Motor Drone, presenting the only attraction of its kind in the world. 26th Street on the Midway, A Century of Progress, Chicago, 1933, featuring Miss Marjorie Kemp. There were actually a lot of women who did this. I'm going to show you another woman here in a moment that did this, and that's look at little Marjorie in her house.
Yeah, right.
With her lion, right? Oh, and her riding lion Sultan.
Sultan.
This picture, I love this picture because the lion's looking back at the driver, and I mean the driver, he's concentrating on driving, but he can see that the lion is turning around and like roaring at him for some reason, like, I don't know, stop or go faster, or I'm hungry, or I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I hope it ended well. And then here's a team here. We had Jack O'Malley and Fearless Egbert. Fearless Egbert was the guy in the video we just watched, and that was there. Yours truly, Colin's famous Death Riders and Racing Lion. And then there's old Marjorie Kemp again. And then here is good old Ethel Purtle and her lion co-rider King. Good old Ethel Purtle and King. Look at Ethel Purtle in her best Sunday dress, driving around a wall of death and a jalopy with a lion.
It's a little bit of a tight fit here in the cook. Can you scoot over, Ethel? I'd like a little bit more room.
So that's just one example of some of the crazy stuff that went on in the 2 decades between World War I and World War II. What do you think about any of that?
Between World War I and World War II, I'm just trying to think of like after a war like that, then you're trying to kind of, I don't know, like maybe it's the excitement that you're trying to like you want more adrenaline, or you want more death-defying activities, like, hey, I survived this world war, and now you kind of get a rush for it and you want more, or it's just, hey, we don't really have other thing. We've got like these cars and motorcycles or whatever, and wood that we can put to, like, what can we do? and I wonder, like, how do you even learn? I guess, like, who was the first person? Like, how do you think about, like, let me try riding sideways? Like, how did that?
Because that would take a lot of effort, because you have to build the whole darn thing before you even know if it's going to work or not. You're just assuming it will because you're like, oh, well, I've ridden a motorcycle like pretty darn near to vertical. Let's see if we can go all the way to vertical. And then you have to build the darn thing, and then it works. Well, you have to. There's always I always wonder, like, people like acrobats who like can, or anybody who can do backflips and stuff like that. Like, there's always that, or on a motorcycle you do a flip. There's always that first time you have to just do it and hope you don't die, right? You just says that first time, and there had to have been a first time there where someone just said, okay, I'm going to build this darn thing and I'm going to do it, or it's going to kill me, and I don't care.
Like the idea of centrifugal force, I don't know, I can't remember how long it's been around by then. So like they understood that the concept, I guess, it maybe worked, but then it's like, how can I implement this by doing this dangerous, like deadly activity instead? And like maybe it'll work. Like who's willing to test that out?
Well, like the woman said in the video, you have to be going at least 30 miles an hour, which I think seems kind of low from.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And they didn't seem to be going that fast. If you asked me how fast does a vehicle have to be going to stay on a vertical surface, I would say like minimum 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, but one fun fact: the Formula One race cars, they go so fast and they're so aerodynamic that the little space beneath the car, which is only a couple inches, acts as a vacuum. And that's one of the main reasons the F1 Formula car stays on the track, is because of that vacuum underneath. And that vacuum, and they've tested this, that vacuum is so strong that if there was a circular tunnel, like a pipe, the Formula One racer could actually drive on the roof of the pipe, and the vacuum would be enough to hold it to the ceiling of the pipe as it drove through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So science be whack.
Wow. Yeah, I think that, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like the people who first thought of this, though, too. Like, what was going on in their heads? So that, like, anyone who kind of invents like new ideas of just like, I don't know, what do we want to like add to the thing? Like, where are we doing these cool things? Lions. Yeah. We got a couple of lions flying around here. Like, can we
that's
just happen to have?
Like there's obviously had to be like a gradual stepping up of this to get to that. But yeah, there are some pretty steep steps you have to make. Like, for instance, like you said, someone said lions. Why not do lions? Okay, well, where the hell are you gonna get lions at?
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I got my 2 lions right over here. They love riding sideways already too, so it's a perfect fit. Like, they're constantly running in circles, and they're running on their walls and their pens or whatever. Like, I don't get how, like, or they started with like smaller animals and stuff. Like, I have my cat in here, but it's hard to see. We did a dog, and then we went too big. We tried elephant and just weighed it down, so like we had to like backtrack. And like a lion was or it was like the small ones were just not enough, and like they kept flying out. Like, you need something that's gonna like stay there, but it's not gonna weigh it down too much. Like, you have to find the right balance, and like lion was perfect.
Yeah, we tried giraffes, but their long necks, they kept bumping into each other in the middle of the
right.
So that was a horrible disaster.
Bye, Mutterfetcher. Have a good night. And he says happy birthday again, Ryan.
Oh, thanks. Oh, see you, Mutter. Yeah, like, did they try like penguins first or something like that? Or
and the Igor just says Ryan.
I know, right? Like,
how serious is Ryan?
Yes.
I also, since we haven't gotten any other guesses for his age, I feel like I don't mean, I guess this is Ryan's call, but I would give Mr. Lott, if he's still here, 6 more guesses, though, because he did pay $8 worth of it, and he could do 1. So I would be open to that.
Okay, I agree to that. Let's do that. Mr. Lott, if you're still here, type out 6 more ages that you think I might be.
For me, so I was trying to figure out, because I was,
and like, if he still doesn't get them, then Bev, you get 1 free answer, and you will win. You will win Daisy if you guess correctly. So, Mr. Lott, you still here?
We'll see. We'll give him a minute, and delays and all that.
Okay.
And he has to type stuff out. You just remind me of Carter on Safe Space sometimes too, because he's like talking in chat and like, well, no one's responding. Like, give them a second. Like, like he would be like too hasty with it. Like, hang on. Like if they're gonna type it out, like because it sometimes like the delay from StreamYard to like the actual video might be a little bit of time, and then them to like type it out. Like, we'll see. But he also might not be here, so we'll wait. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I've got a guess that I'm like I want to give, but then I also have a number that I just really like, and so I was gonna do.
Mr. Lott's third guess is 48. That is not correct.
He guessed 52 now.
52 is not correct.
That was one that I was gonna guess. One of the ones.
This is getting
All
exciting.
Right, 48, 52. Okay. You're older than you look, though. So then you'd be going, guess 80. No worries, Mr. Lott. It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm here to
Mr. Lott has 4 more guesses.
Too hasty. Hey, tying back the word hasty and Super Mario Brothers 2.
Mr. Lott's next guess is 47. That is correct. I am 47 years old today.
All right, you got it. Happy birthday.
Do I look 47?
No.
What do I look? Be honest. What do I look?
I think, and now it's hard because I'm biased because of all the other answers and things too, but I probably, it's hard because my favorite number is 45, so I just kind of automatically would want to guess that. But like 43 would be around the same thing that I would, like the others too. Like that would probably be because I would guess like 1980, that 82, 1, 0. Yeah, anywhere between, and I'm also just used to everyone who watches and stuff being around like the 1980-ish area of age too. So yeah, I would say that you look younger than that. 47. So congrats, Judge. And you got it with 2 more guesses to spare.
I'm putting my Steam friend code.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
In the chat. And anybody, friend me on Steam. This is not just for Mr. Lutz, it's for everybody. But there it is. I'm also going to hold up the piece of paper.
Oh my gosh, Alex is here.
Where's Alex?
Right here.
Alex!
I just think she can hear. Or she's just ignoring you.
maybe that's
there she is. Hello, welcome. I don't know if she heard that. She's a little bit spotty, or what's I can't think of the frame rate wise. You can hear us, Alex?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
You just missed out on Judge Lott winning a contest that Ryan did. He's buying him a DayZ game.
Oh, nice. Well, Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2 are on sale right now.
Yeah, it seems like multiple things are on it. So you got that one, and that's why I might need to buy DayZ. That sounds cool too, and that's on sale.
Well, look what Mr. Lott just said.
Oh my gosh, Lizard and YouTube also had guessed 47.
Oh, you got to be. I'm sorry, one of the rules. You had to be here in Rumble, and you had to do a super chat. That was your price of entrance into the game.
Oh, are you sure? Oh, my PC is crappy. I need to go. He says to give it to me.
Give it to me.
Just give my prize to Beverly. My PC is crappy. I need to upgrade, but thank you for the gift. Well, that's generous of you, Judge.
All right, Bev. Well, go ahead and here. Do you have Steam installed?
Yeah, I don't have it open right now, but again, I'm the dim side on everything. So.
Oh, okay. So you're probably the dim side on Steam too. Okay, then I'll find you. I'll find you, and
I make it easy. I make it easy for everything except for YouTube because YouTube sucks. They did not let me have that. But the thing I was going to say real quick too with the hasty and Super Mario Brothers 2, since that's your favorite one, my friend's sister, they used to play it a lot, and they always would say, like, because they'd throw the onion too, so like they'd pull out the onion from the ground, Super Mario, and throw it, and her sister would always tell my friend, like, Don't be so hasty with that onion. And it just became like a catchphrase that we would always say to each other. Like, oh, you were too hasty with that onion.
Don't be so hasty with that onion.
Yeah. No, bless
Oh,
you.
bless you.
We would just say that like in school, like any day life type of activities and stuff too. Like, you're too hasty with that onion. If you just like jump the gun on something.
Dim side is not coming. Dim side is not coming up in. Oh wait.
Is it the dim side?
Oh wait, hold on. I was searching in the wrong spot. Here it is. The dim side. Are you like a? Would you be like a half white, half black bear?
Yes. I was like, why are you asking if I'm a bear? Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm buying it for the right person.
No. That is me, because that's from Danganronpa, which is I have the games. I haven't played them, but it's from an anime. He's like a little bear. He's an animatronic evil bear character, and he goes nyek nyek nyek. And the game and what the anime is about is that the kids are stuck in a school, and they lost their memories, but they're all like really gifted because they're like, they call them super high school level, but they're in Japanese they call them ultimate, like the ultimate detective, the ultimate chef, the ultimate video gamer. So they have that, but they have to get out of the school to like survive it. They have to murder someone else there and get away with it. So then so someone dies and they go into like a courtroom session and they have to like figure out, like they guess who the murderer is. And if it's correct that you were the murderer, you die. But if you like don't get caught, then you're supposed to be able to leave. And then there are more games that like expands the world, and it's super cool. I really enjoy the anime and I want to play the games. But yes, that is me. So and I forget what the bear's name is. I did like a similar character in my D&D game, and I called him Monchi. So that's what I just always think of that.
Monchi.
Growing pots. How was your streaming, Alex?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I just finished Lightfall, the new campaign in Destiny 2.
Stream.
Yeah.
You started late. You started like 9:30. You start or not? I forget. You started later than I thought you were gonna start.
Yeah, I was gonna start at 6, but then like the streaming PC needed an NVIDIA update. So I was like, damn it. So I just didn't start until about 6:30. But then about in the middle of the boss fight, the final boss fight, I was having encoding issues and like disconnecting from my stream. And there's no pausing in Destiny 2, by the way. So like I had to find a place that was relatively safe and like fuck with it until I could get it to work. And by that point I was frustrated, not with the encoding issues, but by the fact that I kept fucking dying. And then and it happened after I solved the issue too, and I was like, I just want this to end. And it lasted so long, and the second phase of the boss was boring as well. And then like there was some after the boss fights writing that was just bleh. I understand why so many Destiny 2 fans don't like Lightfall, which is the name of this campaign. It's not great. Like I won't say that it's not as good as Witch Queen, last year's major campaign. It's just not as good. It's stupid.
And so that was about like 3.5 hours of gaming. And I mean, I was like along with the maybe issues in between it, but yeah, I imagine you're tired.
Oh yeah, I am tired. But I was getting frustrated, and there was a moment where I had to choose between my anxiety in the fact that I kept fucking up and anger over the fact that it kept not working, and I chose anger. I leaned into anger because I was like, if I lean into anxiety, if I allow that to happen, my hands will start freezing up and it'll be even harder.
Yeah.
So I was like, lean into the anger. There's a lot of swearing in that one because I said fuck you a lot. I said motherfucker a lot. Like it was a lot of the F-bombs just dropped over and over again, and as I was so angry at the boss.
That's what I was telling Ryan earlier too, with like certain things. Like I was saying, like with practicing piano and just like keep getting a certain part wrong when I'm like trying to play it perfectly. I did it with Dance Dance Revolution, and that was like back in college. I remember I couldn't get the one dance right, and I was just like screaming. I was throwing F-bombs around too, because like when I get like mad, then I'm like I Hulk out. Is what I say. Like I get like. And I'll just start yelling at it. I'm not mad at like people. It'll always just be like I'm frustrated with like something that I can't do right or like something else that's but not at people.
Yeah.
At a couch, I've done that at a couch when I'm trying to like move a couch and like out of the house though, and I'm just like so it was too heavy and I couldn't get it. And I'm just like screaming at it.
I'm glad I'm done, but I have 2 other characters to do that campaign on. I only did 1 mission so far on my main secondary character, but I have to do it on my main secondary character because of the fact that that's the character I use for like PvP matches to like play other players. I don't like the Warlock is what I use for PvE. Like, and so it's what you see on live stream like all the time.
We say PvE.
PvE, which
What's
is
that?
Player versus environment.
Oh, okay.
But I use my hunter for PvP, which is player versus player modes. So I have to finish this campaign for that character because it unlocks a new subclass, like a new set of abilities. If it didn't do that, I wouldn't bother, but I have to do it on the character as much as I don't want to.
Well, hey, Alex, I got some questions about Destiny. Do you mind answering them?
Go ahead.
Do you mind asking them for me?
Yeah, you got to ask first. I don't know.
I mean, that sounded weird. I just didn't want to, whatever. But anyways, so we were talking about Halo earlier, and I know that Destiny is much like Halo, at least in whatever theme. It's done by the same studio that originally did Halo. I don't know anything about Destiny, so I'm interested in the mythology. So it's kind of set up the same way with the armor and the weapons, and there's that floating sphere in the sky over the planet.
Yes.
What's going on?
Real quick, hello, Am Krebelst. Welcome. It's a new name in chat. Hello from Canada, New Brunswick. Welcome, you Canadian, eh?
Oh, by the way, Bev, you have to. I sent a friend request to you on Steam. You have to accept it first.
All right, let me
but
find that.
Yeah, but Alex, so like, what's the mythology behind Destiny?
So this is Destiny 2. Destiny came out in 2013, and it's like the future. And in the future, there's this giant floating white ball over Earth. It came hundreds of years before the start of the game. And what it does is that it gives people ghosts that res them when they die. So there's like an in-game reason why you don't die. Yeah. Which is, I always prefer that. If you're going to do something like that, you better give me a damn reason, you know? So
like in, what was the movie that we just watched? The Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, yeah. So I prefer that. And you have different types of characters and different abilities within those characters, like groups. And the idea is that when the Traveler, that's the name of the big glowing white ball, showed up, we had like this golden age and things were like super nice. And then there was the collapse. And I don't know what caused the collapse because I don't do a great job of paying attention when they talk to me because I get bored. But the collapse happened and we were already like going after the other planets in the solar system, like building shit and everything. So, and then the collapse happened. So, then hundreds of more years pass, and now we're to the start of the game when we, as a dead person in Russia, get rezzed by a ghost for the first time, because you have to die for a ghost to come and, you know, bring you back as a guardian, which is the characters with all the abilities. And so there's the last city. That's the like all the people who are still left in the world have moved to one city, and right underneath the traveler, and a few people are in charge, and they tell us the player character what to do. And but there's something coming for us. It's the darkness. We don't know what it is, but the traveler runs the fuck away whenever it comes near it. So the idea is that we're afraid that as the darkness approaches, that the traveler is going to abandon us and we'll no longer have our powers.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And it's pretty late into the game now. Like, okay, to be fair on the story, the guy who created the story was fired before they launched Destiny.
Oh. What?
So whatever he planned, like he set up a bunch of shit and then was fired or ousted or whatever you want to say. And now they're like, we don't know what the darkness is. I'm pretty sure that fucking guy knows.
Yeah, why would you? I don't understand getting rid of the creator, because like we were talking about that last night with just like authors dying and stuff beforehand, and like why don't get rid of the person who had the idea, like who knows the things, like
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So they and then like so all that bullshit is going on with the story in the background. So I don't like the story of Destiny. I think the gameplay is awesome. I absolutely fucking love it. And there are some characters that I absolutely adore in the game. But I like you'll know, like you'll see me if you watch my live streams just basically rolling my eyes or making fun of the bad writing, because so much like the Witch Queen campaign that came out last year, which is what so I started playing last year right before they launched Witch Queen, and so I played a campaign they were sunsetting so that we weren't going to be able to play it anymore, called Forsaken. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like great either. But I really enjoyed playing the game. The gunplay and the abilities, all of that was awesome. So I'll play it, as long as I'm not like super fucking annoyed with the, the world building that they do. Like I tried, what's that game called? Wolfenstein Youngblood. I thought the gunplay in that game was so good, but the main characters that you play as talk constantly, and they're just so damn punchable that I was like, I can't keep playing this game. I hate this. Like, this could be the best game mechanics in the fucking world, but these two cunts won't shut the fuck up, and I can't do this. So yeah, I did not play any more Wolfenstein Youngblood. But like, yeah, if it's not so bad that like it permeates all moments of the actual gameplay, I can handle it not being great. But then after Forsaken was sunset and they launched the new campaign, Witch Queen was so good. The writing for that one was great. I really enjoyed it. It had the woman from Jedi Fallen Order as the voice of the bad guy, and she's also she's a Mad TV grad. Her name's like Deborah something. Deborah. It starts with a W. I can't quite remember, but her performance is really good. She's the best, honestly, in the whole game. So, and then they have seasonal content, like a 3-month season that you have a side story essentially that feeds into what's going to happen for the next major campaign. And I love the game, but I don't like the story for the most part. Just like, too long didn't read to make a long story short, but long after the fact I gave you the long story.
Which game was this?
This is Destiny 2.
This is Destiny 2. Okay, all right. Yeah, what was it, like the voiceover thing that I forget what link I posted. Oh, it was the New York Post, and then they were making fun. They kind of had a thing about, like, I think it was the Wednesday actress, whatever her name is, but then they were like, "This is how, like, when you act like a bitch and stuff too, like then you might end up being like a doing voicing video games." Like, well, why are you making that sound like a bad thing? Like,
Yeah, I thought that was pretty shitty too to
Yeah.
say. I did read that when you put that in there. I was like, damn, that's just stupid.
yeah. It just seems like people who underappreciate voice over work.
Yeah, really.
And it can make money. Like, what's her name? Like, or I guess Bayonetta and stuff. Like, you know, like they're people who are, hey, like they're well known until they get replaced, but like they can make a good amount of money.
Yeah, Deborah Wilson. Thank you, Paviver. That's the name of the actress who does the voice of Savathun. That's the name of the bad guy in the Witch Queen.
Witch Queen.
I saw something, speaking about there being a lot of
See him.
text and verbiage in games today. Who's that?
That's Corey.
Oh, hey, Corey. I did see, I don't know, some segment somewhere. They were in the process of making one of the Mass Effect games. I forget which Mass Effect it was, 4 or something like that. And there's this one female voice character. Actually, I never played Mass Effect, but apparently at the beginning of the game, you can choose to be either the male character or the female character. And so what they did was they had a male voice actor and a female voice actress, and they each had to do the entire all the verbiage in the game, right? And the female voice actress is she's like an industry standard, like she's done many games. So they in the segment they were talking about basically talking to people who weren't familiar with how involved gaming is these days, and they said for comparison's sake, like they had the script of the game, like just the verbiage, and they said how many words it was. I forget how many words it was. We'll just say like it was 70,000 words, and they said by comparison, War and Peace is 50,000 words. So like the script of that Mass Effect game was longer than War and Peace. Literally.
The reason why is because it's a BioWare game, which meant every time you have dialogue between the player character and the NPCs, you get to choose what dialogue you say. So they have to do recordings for all the different dialogue options for both the male and the female in every conversation.
That's why I love D&D, because then, you know, or RPGs, because then, like, as the game master, you get to, it depends on how, and like, I will react differently. Like, are they coming across as an asshole? Like, that just happened before. Like, it'll usually be unintentional, but I'm like, well, that was just kind of like, you know, rude the way you said it. So they're going to respond accordingly to whatever stuff. And I love it. As
much as I like dialogue options in games, they often piss me off. Like Cyberpunk 2077 has it, and KOTOR has it, but your character's not voiced. Everyone else is voiced, but your character isn't. And then same thing with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. A lot of these RPGs, they give you dialogue options, usually. The problem is, though, is that, like, they give you, like, a brief thing of what you were going to say, and it doesn't always convey the tone in which you're going to deliver that content. So then it creates this hilarious thing where you're like, Jesus, I didn't realize that was the angry option. Like, you have no fucking clue. Like, sometimes some video games, they'll literally put parentheses afterwards with like anger or like, you know, persuade, intimidate, or what's one of them? Seduce, you know, like just something to let you know what your tone might be. But like,
I really like you. I really like you.
Yeah. Like, but the ones that don't tell you, it's so often like either like it's not just the tone mismatch, because usually it's a shortened version of whatever you're gonna say. So you could be choosing something and you're like, I'm not okay with that being what I chose now that I've heard the dialogue. And that happens a lot in dialogue option games, so many times. There was BioWare did the MMO for Star Wars. It's a very good game. I liked it, but EA blocked a lot of the UI behind paywalls, which is just fucking weird, by the way, and usurious, honestly. And I liked that game, but at one point I accidentally had sex with an NPC. I did not know that's what I was about to do.
I knew when you said I accidentally had, and I knew the next word was going to be sex. I don't know why, but I knew it.
Not accidentally drop the pancake. Not
I
accidentally.
accidentally had sex.
Well, because
Yeah.
they didn't make it clear that that's what that dialogue option meant, that I was choosing to fuck the guy. That was not clear to me until afterwards, and she's like doing the walk of shame and shaking her head over her choice. And I
We
was
were
like, what
talking
the
about
fuck?
What game? Wait, what game was this?
we were talking about
Star
consent
Wars,
earlier.
This was a Star Wars game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's when you play a bad character, the Imperial agent. There was
What age is this for?
these are for mature.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were doing like for everyone for like a Star Wars game. Okay.
I did see something funny in the opposite way. I saw this one YouTube video popped up on my queue, and it said this really weird thing happened. It was referring to the game. What was the game? The big white bald guy with the blue thing on his face, the blue Thunderbolt or whatever. He kind of looked like Braveheart. Big guy. He was pale white, and he had the big blue. Somebody in the chat's gonna know.
Bald head. I just only know Mr.
Well,
Crazy
anyways,
Bald.
it's another game where you can play that guy, or you can play like the female version of him, right? So the title of this YouTube video was such clickbait because it said when you play, what did it say her name was? Surendra. I don't know, just made that up. When you play Surendra in game X and go to the brothel, this happens, and I'm like, okay, what? So I click on it, and simply what happens is in the game there's brothels in the game. Okay, but they kind of gloss over that a little bit. Like you can visit the brothel, and then it kind of like fast forward, like fade out, fade back in type of thing. So what happens is when you go to the brothel, there's this glitch in the game where when you go to the brothel as a female character, when you come back out, it's your female head. Oh, hey, thanks. Oh, hey, Paul, thanks. It's your female head on top of the male character's body. That's all it is. That's all for the rest of the game. That's all it is.
Oh my god, the rest of the game?
God of War. I said God of War. It's God of War. So that's all it is. If you're the female character and you go to visit the brothel, when you come back out, it's your female character's head on top of the male's body for the rest
Just
of the game.
wanted to highlight this real quick too. Oops, too far. Quote of the year: I accidentally had sex with an NPC. That it could be a book title. Would you like me to service your saber?
Oh, it's a red. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kratos. Yeah, Kratos is the main character. God of War. It's a red. It's like a red, like thunderbolt. It's red, not blue. I'm sorry, it's red. Yeah.
That cleared it up way more for me. I would have totally known if it were a red one than blue because I know games.
I'm a gamer.
Speaking of things that we're bad at earlier, another game I'm bad at but I love is Castle Crashers. So that's one too that I because I'm bad at. You have to get on like the right plane, like where because I forget what they're called, like the side scroller thing, but they're 2D, but you have to be like on the right level if you go like two up and down on the Z axis. So if you're in, so I miss a lot. But I like to play the Pink Knight where you just get to shoot rainbows and hamsters and penguins. So I'm not great at it, but I love it.
And shoot Nyan Cat. You guys remember Nyan Cat? No?
I know of it.
The cat, the Pop-Tart cat with the rainbow.
Yeah. It wasn't an actual game or anything, right? It was just a meme.
It was just
like
an
ongoing. Okay, yeah. Then I do know it. I just wasn't sure if it was like if I was missing out. Like I only know from watching like the.
You shoot Nyan Cats at the bad people.
Yeah. And Adventure Time games they had that, like where you do kind of. I think there is ones where you shoot cats at the bad guys, and I think it just has like the meow meow sounds, something like that.
Well, hey, if we got I got Daisy now. Beverly, you got Daisy now. Alex,
Yeah.
you got $29 to blow for a new
I
game.
just bought the Divinity games.
Uh,
That was my gaming.
Okay. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's not even about the money. It's about the mental bandwidth to absorb another game. I totally get that. I can only do one game at a time.
Have you tried this new cool tennis game called
I do
Pong?
several games at a time, obviously because of my streaming schedule, but I literally don't play except for farming off live stream. So like I'll farm Destiny 2 and Warframe off live stream. Everything else, like all the progress you see, is done on live stream. And I was literally asking people in my Discord, I was like, am I allowed to just play a game to fucking play it? Like, I feel like, because I just bought the Divinity games, and I'm like, there's no way I can fit this into another live stream. I stream every fucking day. And I was like, is it possible that I could just, play for myself? And they were like, yes! Like, do that if you want to. And I'm like, okay. So I felt like I needed permission because I don't know, like I have all this stuff where I literally want this raw experience for me on games. Because that was the thing, like someone was like bitching about like some Warframe moment that came out today on YouTube. They were like, how are you struggling with this? And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of that whole, I'm going to do research and play the game perfectly on live stream. The point, like to me, part of the point is that I fuck up on live stream. Like I grow on live stream.
So I kind of have the opposite thing of like, I kind of want to stream now and I was saying this earlier to like, it's the same thing about reading books, like doing a stream for that is that way, like I have reason to like commit to actually playing a game now. Otherwise I'm not going to, but so using that. But when I play with like streaming, I agree. Like, I think I'm like, oh, I'd just do this raw and kind of like figure it out. But when I don't, I love walkthroughs. I love knowing what like for the Pokemon games, they always get like the walkthroughs and things too. Like tell me where to go. Like I'm still going to play it. However, but I like to know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, like, so when I started out playing for the channel and everything, I definitely felt like this is making me play video games, and I was not playing them as much before that. And then I was playing video games every day, and I was like, this is making me so much happier. But now, because I stream 7 days a week, but I still have a day job and everything, I am now like gun shy about playing video games without it being a live stream. Now I still want to play more games, but I don't have the space to do more live streams, like because you have to do a certain amount of time.
It's okay. You can have private time with your video games. Then not everyone needs to.
I know. I'm like now I'm at that point where I'm like, can I just play for me, please?
And I know you used to do it. There were times because I like I've called you on Discord at a different time. You're just like sitting and playing a game, but you weren't. I don't think you were streaming at the time because you were chatting.
Those
with
were
me.
farming. Those were farming ones.
Okay,
like I said, like I literally will farm off live stream for like Warframe or Destiny 2 because both those online games require like you to farm a lot to be to keep up with everybody. But I'm not
doing
I'm
like
not streaming that. But I mean like new content, any kind of like new content. Can I progress content without it being content for consumption by other people? Can I just consume?
Because it's like, when we're not streaming, I still talk. I still, tell whatever stories and other things. So if I have that freedom to do it off air, you can play games off air.
No, but Alex brought up a good point though. I kind of wrestle with the same thing. I don't stream online. I could. I've thought about doing like what Alex is talking about, but there's like I don't know what the emotion is. It's not guilt exactly, but it's very, very similar to guilt. And
Right.
But there are people who will fire up some sort of long-term game, and you won't see their face, you won't hear their voice. It's just their screen capture of them playing the game, and they get a lot of views. And I think a lot of people tune in. I don't think people. I think this surprises people. but they get a lot of views, and I think maybe it hits like the ASMR lobe of the brain or something.
Maybe.
But it's like, yeah, like I'm the same way, Alex. Like there's like a guilt factor I have to get over.
Well, I really like watching single player games without voice or camera from people. Like that's what I used to do before I had my own channel, is that I would watch those. And there's this one guy that, or woman, I don't know, like there's no way to tell, who does the most amazing walkthroughs. Like, you should watch this person's Dishonored. They're so fast. They're so fucking fast, especially with stealth games. It's like they have some of the best playthroughs. They are on YouTube. I've never, like, they must play the game like several times before they record themselves doing it, because
or maybe they're just geniuses.
They're not
video game virtuosos.
They know the timing, like, on these games, like, really, really well.
A virtuoso would too. I just want to read real quick to P. Beaver's thing here that says private time with video games is how accidental sex happens with an NPC. Yeah, well, that's what I want to do. I guess it'd be sort of as like a speed run through it when I want to do Super Mario World, but it's speed run with Yoshi. So, but I don't think I'm going to try it doing it fast. I just have to play it again and remember how to do it because it's been so long since I've played. So if I can get my Switch hooked up to this capture card, maybe I'll be able to do it.
I have a capture card. It does not work for me.
That's why I don't know. Like the one I have, I only used it for when I had my laptop and I was plugging into an external camera. I haven't tried it with games yet, but online it looks like if you want a cheap one that works, I'm like, I already have that one. So I'll see if it works or not. If not, I'll maybe invest in a fancier one.
I got a 200. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. Oh, all I was about to say was, I would say before you invest too much mental or energy or resources into that, we have a guy in our community who knows all about the game capture card stuff. His name is Hot Dog Raw Dog, and he's well, yeah. Well, his name used to be Bolzome, and then he changed it to Hot Dog Raw Dog, I think, on a bet or as a goof, and he just kept it that way. But if you before you pull the trigger on that, I can put you in touch with him. But he's within our circles.
Okay, cool.
I thought,
but you were saying, but yeah, who was saying about the $200? Was that Alex or Beth?
Yeah, me. I got a $200 capture card from Elgato that I can't get to work. Like, I can get it to like function, but I can't get it to capture the game well. So it and then I bought like a $50 Ethernet gigabit switch and Ethernet cables and did NDI, and that works. And I'm like, that was a lot cheaper, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think I was saying yesterday in the last couple of days about like worrying about paying, like, oh, do I pay for the more expensive thing? But like, what if it doesn't work? So and I got the egg incubator today and I went with a more expensive one, and I'm like, it has higher reviews. I'm going to hope that it works. But compared to going with the cheap, like, I have no idea. I don't know. So it was just sort of like the analysis paralysis again, that I had to get over it.
The thing is, though, is that I do think you actually need a capture card for capturing consoles. Like, I'm talking about 2 PCs, which is there are other ways of doing it. I don't know, like, I haven't had a console in so long that I'm not sure. Like, the last console I had was the Wii.
Wow. The Switch has I love the Switch. Actually, I forget, I probably mentioned it the other day too, but like I actually did get to play a little bit when I went to the library to try to take a picture of their game night. But since it was just like one kid and then the girl who runs it, though, it was, oh my God, this isn't really picture worthy, but they were playing Smash Bros. So she asked me if I wanted to join in, and I said, yeah, like, I'm done. So I played 2 rounds, one as Pikachu and one as Zelda, and I won as Pikachu. It was the first one I played, and I'm like, yeah, I got you guys. Zelda, I dislike that they separated Zelda and Sheik, and I just can't. I'm not good. I think I should probably just do Sheik, but like, Zelda, she's magical, but sometimes she's just too slow for me when I'm trying to do. I can't figure out how to do that, so I like to transform into Sheik, and they separated them, so I'm not happy about that. Also, thank you to P. Beaver. Oh, scrolled up. High five for the therapy session on the dangers of playing too much video games.
I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to figure out how I can play more.
More, yeah. That's what he's saying. The dangers. That's all Alex does forever.
It's kind of true. It's most of my like free time is games or video editing, pretty much.
Side note, Alex, my dad, I don't remember why he was texting me because he's like looking at different land and stuff, but I don't know if he sent this to me because I also didn't read all of the texts he sent. But one of the links he sent was like this house on Main Street in the town nearby, and I was like, yeah, that's the one I sent to Alex. So I don't know if it was because I mentioned that I sent it to you, and that was when he's like, oh, this is the one that we were talking about, or he just was looking at it and happened to send it to me. I'm still unclear why that happened.
Oh, also about that guy I mentioned, Hot Dog Raw Dog. He's all about the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn is his favorite gaming platform.
I only have the one game, but I loved it.
And he knows all the things about all the tricks and all the hardware you need to connect all that, not even the emulator, but the original hardware, like the original consoles, into do game capture from them. And he does that stuff all the time. Yeah, he's on Twitch. He streams I think like every other day or so. But
hi, let's go, Brandon. Well, and I don't know if it was. I know in install. I think what was it like you? Oh shoot, what is it like? You press start. Was it select? Then you go up, down, left, right, X, A, Y, B, Z, C. There might be something else there too, but it was something where you can become invulnerable. So then you could play through the game and like. But if you like fell down, there might be a level where you fall off and you die. It's like at a cloud level. And when you can't die, then you're just stuck down there and you can't do anything because it doesn't let you get back up though. So you have to just like start it over, or at least, like reset or something. So it's risky.
That happened to me. So when I was playing Forsaken last year in Destiny 2, I was doing it with Nameless. Because Nameless was really into Destiny 2 back then, and he was like, "Oh, you're doing Forsaken, let's do it together." And I was like, "Okay." And so we were doing it together, and we get to this point, and there's a couple like level parts where you get they're a new load essentially of like for your computer, and he gets ahead of me, and then I'm stuck. I can't go any further. I can see he's somewhere else, but I'm stuck back where we were before, and I can't get out. And I killed myself several times to try to figure out if maybe I would join him, and I just never got like joining allies or anything.
Will I join you in death?
We literally had to leave the mission and restart it. It was terrible. And also on, I think it was Tuesday actually, or maybe Monday, I fell through the fucking map. I don't know if you know about that, but like that's a terrible flaw with some games where you fall through the map. And usually when it happens, you die, but I didn't that time. I didn't die. So I had to kill myself to get out of it. And reset the mission.
Like in Demon Slayer, that was season 1, right? Or is it No, it's Mugen Train. How far are you in Mugen Train, Alex?
I finished Mugen Train this morning.
But he had to keep killing himself because they got put into like the dream world and stuff. So then he had to realize, and then he just kept doing it every time. He's like, "No, die again!" So he just like
every time he fell asleep.
Like just so immediately, like. What is a chill game that one can play and stream while talking to people? I think I could do that with Super Mario World.
I think I could pretty much do that with Warframe with a lot of missions.
Zelda
missions are super chill.
Breath of the Wild, and at least not during the fighting things when you fight the guardians and stuff. But I really like to just like go hunting. I can never kill in real life, but I like to go. I feel bad in the game too, but I'll go hunting. You catch them, you get the meat, and then you go cook, and then I hang out at the house that he buys. I just like living like a normal person's life in Zelda. Just a hunter.
Maybe like Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used to record some stuff for that, some Let's Plays. And then when I was playing just for myself, I was playing Stardew Valley. Like I think that was like just a year ago. Actually, I was playing Stardew Valley for myself with a bunch of mods because I hate all the limitations that Stardew Valley has. I would pause time and and like
Pokemon.
go into the mine for like a really long time. And I think my only limit was exhaustion, essentially, at that point, because I don't like the days draining. I'm like, no, I want more time. So it was the most modded up Stardew Valley ever, and also fishing. I made the fishing easier. That was my other mod that I added to it.
Can the Nintendo DS be hooked up through a capture card somehow and play through it? Because I'd rather do that than play like on an emulator.
I imagine anything you could figure out a way to hook it up.
You overestimate my abilities.
Not you. That was a general you.
Sure. like how static you were about that. Not you. You definitely could not figure this out, but like you in general.
There's got to be a way, and I bet you it's easier than you think it is.
Was it in Discord too? And I asked, because Rumble had the thing about the high resolution. I just didn't really understand exactly what it meant though. So I was like, can my internet handle it? And I'm like, or what does this mean? Like specifically, can my internet handle it? And Alex was just like, your internet probably could not, or like your internet wouldn't be able to handle that. I was like, man, just like so blunt.
Really, yeah, you said the truth hurts.
Yeah, that's right. Truth hurts. Oh, another thing I think because I was picturing like sticking like a knife in your chest or something, but so that reminded me of darts. Someone mentioned darts earlier as far as like whatever games and stuff when we're talking about like sports and different things and what we're bad at. That's another one that I can be like really good or really bad at it, because I remember like I've been able to like hit in certain spots, but I remember another time my friend had an electronic one and it had like a start and stop, like little like pill shaped buttons of it, and I threw it and it got stuck inside the start button of it, so it just like got jammed in there. Like I don't think that was supposed to happen, but somehow so I can be like I can get like close to bullseye and also just completely miss the board. So I'm just like really bowling, mini golf, darts, like it's so hit or miss. Check out the Librarian channel on YouTube. Why?
I read that as libertarian.
Oh. Did I misread it? Oh, library.
Nope, you did not.
Okay. The Librarian. Why are we doing that? The Librarian. Okay. Librarian scare reel. Is this a gamer thing? Okay. Yes, it does. I didn't know. I thought it might be about books or libraries. Thought maybe it was just like an architectural channel about libraries. There are a lot of empty mods for indie horror games that are just eerie, dark, spacious, open worlds to explore with no danger of death. I want more horror like just creepy games, because the one I always bring up is was it PES? Is that what it was called? But the one that only ever had like the demo and they never actually did it. PT. Okay, that was close.
Which, by the way, they took off of Steam. People literally sell laptops with PT on it.
Just the demo of it?
Yes.
Wow.
Because people want it that much.
It was such a cool idea.
Well, it's by Hideo Kojima, which is one of the artistes of video game creation. And he got into kind of a kerfuffle, I guess, with the studio. And they fired him. And then the next Metal Gear Solid was kind of shit. And a lot of people thought so too. And then he went on to do Death Stranding, which is a weird-ass game. Yeah. And the problem is, it's kind of something Yahtzee said, he's a game reviewer, that it's all this weird artisty stuff that he does, but then also he takes himself seriously, even though like some of the shit he makes is like just fucking weird, but he takes himself seriously. And it creates a kind of content that a lot of other people don't know or are capable of. So when the studio outs him and then made another Metal Gear Solid, like obviously that's missing. That sense of weirdness that he specifically has is missing from it. Which, and yeah, PT was supposed to be a full game, and they never went forward with it. So, and in fact, they removed it from the Steam store, and a lot of people were literally selling laptops with PT on it, because if you had it downloaded, that meant you could play it, and a lot of people didn't get to play it. I didn't get to play it.
Oh, really? I actually did. Because it was at one of the middle schoolers that I worked with, but like the ginger knew his mom, and I also worked with the kid's cousin at the newspaper, so it was just kind of like, oh, we already kind of knew each other. So then we would hang out and play video games sometimes, like Smash Bros. And he had PT, so I played it and I loved it. It was so creepy. Even though like nothing really happened, but it was really
it
good.
started an entire new genre of games. That's how good Hideo Kojima is.
What is the genre?
The genre is walking simulator horror. So basically, you're not ever in combat like you would be in like Alien Isolation or The Evil Within or Dead Space, which are all horror games, but they're horror games with combat in them. Instead, this is a game where it's psychological, and you walk around, you solve kind of basic puzzles, and are presented with weird vignettes throughout the game. So a good example of that, for one that was like PT, is Layers of Fear. There's no combat in it. It's just basically walking around and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and being creeped out in the process.
Is Hello Neighbor? Do you know that one? Like that one kind of has like a little bit of like action in it, because you get chased around by the man who owns the house. But is that because you solve mysteries and it's like a walking?
I've never played it before, so I can't really tell you.
It's it's a survival horror stealth game, is what it is.
Survival horror wouldn't be.
Because you don't die, you just like you get caught and you get thrown out. Like you're trying to like creep on his house and stuff because he's like suspicious though. So like you never actually get killed, but it's
I wouldn't call that a walking simulator, because you can't really die. So I wouldn't really like, or even like faint or any of there's no like game over kind of
maybe that's a little disappointing in PT, because then like part of it is like, am I gonna get hurt? Like, is there something gonna happen to me? So I guess if there isn't that threat looming, then maybe it's less scary.
Well, I mean, the creepiest game I ever played, and unfortunately, like to Alex's point, it is a combat game, but the creepiest game I ever played was Silent Hill. That game is creepy as all get out.
I
never played it. I mean, I know of it and stuff.
I never played it either.
Yeah,
I just recently for Shocktober played some Resident Evil. So my older horror knowledge is very limited, honestly.
But not creepy, but scary. The scariest game I ever played was the very first Resident Evil. It still is to this day the scariest game I ever played. Just I don't know, something about that game is just off-putting.
I wasn't able to get very far into that game. So for Shocktober, I had this feature where I had a bunch of extra streams where I would play Resident Evil games in order, but I would stop the game as soon as I hit 10 deaths and move on to the next one in the series. I did not get very far in Resident Evil because it's a little jank on the combat. I died many, many times to the first zombie. And I'm not used to that. So then I think I got the furthest in Resident Evil 2, which the remake. I really, really enjoyed that one. Out of all of them, I got up to 5. I felt like that one was the best one.
There were 5 Resident Evils?
There's 8 Resident Evils.
Oh, never mind.
Plus a prequel Resident Evil. So there's Resident Evil, there's Resident Evil 0, which is a prequel. There's Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, which is the one with Nemesis. Resident Evil 4, which is the one they just came out with a remake of. That's the one where Leon is trying to save Ashley from the cult. Famously, like, Leon! everyone makes fun of that.
Yeah, I forgot about the movies that I watched of
Yeah.
all this,
Yeah,
including
Resident
the
Evil-
animations. Okay, yes.
Yeah, Resident Evil 5, which is where it takes place in Africa and you have a companion. And then that's as far as I got. And then Resident Evil
romantic
6
companion?
is not one I know at all. I think that's the boulder punching one. Resident Evil 7, which I have played a little bit. Resident Evil 7 is called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It's where they're trying to get back to their roots, and you go to a house and it's like really creepy and awful. You're not a cop like you are in the first one, or a STARS person. You are you're just a guy looking for his wife who's been missing for 3 years, and weird shit's going on in that house.
Oh.
And the family is like a bunch of hillbilly psychos who can't die. And then Resident Evil 8 is, you're still that same guy from Resident Evil 7, and you are in a village in somewhere in Europe, and you meet this lady who's like 8 feet tall.
Oh,
And-
Lady Demetrescu or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's Resident Evil Village, but if you look at the titles for Resident Evil Village, they've managed to make the letters VIII different than the rest to make it clear that that's Resident Evil 8. So that's the whole series, and I own everyone but Resident Evil 8, and I've played into Resident Evil 5, which I hate. I fucking hated it. I hated it so much. Like, I cannot explain. And I didn't like really Resident Evil 4 either. I was like, it's not really that much like the previous games, honestly. It's a pretty big diversion here into actual action versus the previous games, which are really more horror based. So like for Shocktober, I am gonna do the Resident Evil games again for Shocktober, where I do the same thing, 10 deaths, and I move on to the next game. But because I enjoyed it, I really did that way of streaming. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Ryan, sorry to change subject for a second, but Alex, if you hadn't seen, Ryan started a Gilded for us here.
I did see that.
So there's a link, but I'm trying to change my avatar, and it will only upload it sideways. Even when I edited the photo to turn it sideways the other way, it's still doing it the same sideways thing. And
what are you doing? You're killing me, Smalls. What are you?
No, it's just nothing. Everything always breaks when I touch it.
Doing? Where is your? Let me see.
It's just sideways. So I don't get that, but
you got another birthday wish.
Oh, hate your state. Thank you. Yeah, Bev. I don't know. I didn't have that problem, so I can't comment.
Retarded. Everything hates me.
I don't own Gilded. I don't run it. I can't help you. Sorry.
Try later. I'll give up for now.
No, I've tried. I know I have this. I've had the same thing happen with uploading video pictures before, and what I find works is if I like open the photo, if I open the image and then resave it again as like a different file name, then it like seems to cement it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll try that later. I'm too tired now.
It's true. It might be like going off of metadata from the same file. So
that for some reason that was not sideways to begin with, but okay. Well, I am fairly tired because it's almost 2 here, and my eyes are really dried out. I need to take out these contacts. St. Patrick's Day is over.
Yeah, it's way past over for you.
I know, yeah. So it's no longer even Ryan's birthday. So yeah, why even bother with this stream?
Fine. I'm taking myself out of here.
Igorog says my avatar did. I like that you still just leave from like you don't exit, you just slide down. My avatar did it also. I just cropped it with a snipping tool and pasted it. And did you have to save it? I'll work on it. I'll do it later. But yeah, well, thank you, Ryan, and thanks for you, Alex.
I'm the one that has to thank you. Thank you for allowing me to hijack your stream for a very selfish reason, but also to help others. And then also on a day off that you weren't even planning on streaming in the first place. And we've been going for 3 hours, more than 3 hours. Just thank you very much. I just really wanted to do this for like other people, and this was the best outlet to do it on.
I got a game out of it, so that's a win-win.
And a Gilded group. You got a game and a Gilded group.
That's true. I like. Oh, P. Beaver also says Alex is about to go live again. She needs another game fix. But yeah, Ryan. No, it was fun, and I was glad to, especially because it was your birthday. So I'm like, of course. I'm like, all right, I can handle this Friday night stream. I got another birthday party tomorrow.
one last reminder: if you haven't hit the thumbs up or the thumbs up on the stream in Rumble, do that for Bev, and then also make sure to join the Gilded group, both Gilded groups, that one and mine, and you'll be in the Gilded family, and everything will be happy, and you won't die a horrible death early.
Can you really guarantee that? Especially, well, I was just thinking about this earlier. There were 2 different streams, I think, where like Alex and chat were talking about murdering me. Like it wasn't like them specific. It was just like about how I would be murdered generally. And I was like, how is everyone telling me how I'm going to be murdered? And then I think the second time it happened, Alex, you were just like, we're just planning your murder. Get over it.
I don't remember that.
We're only planning it. We're not doing it. I mean,
get over it. I'm sorry. Okay.
Like I always argued about like, I mean, the libertarian in me always argued like, why is attempted murder a crime? You didn't actually murder anybody. You just
you failed at it.
You failed at it.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys again.
Thank you, everybody.
We will be back. Alex will be streaming forever on her channel, so just 24/7. And but we'll be back on Wednesday with occasional levity at 9:30 Eastern at night, and Thursday for the dim stream 9:30 Eastern. And we're doing Demon Slayer and Rick and Morty season 3.
Yes.
Anything else? I think that's everything. Oh, I've got like links and stuff. Ryan has been posting his links in there too, but you can find him ChicagoFaucet. He's on
all over the place.
Gab.
Look what Pete Beaver said.
Third.
And third wheel.
That's why
I'll take third wheel. I'll take third wheel. I am not proud.
I need to learn how to copy the Gilded thing. I need to do that. But here's a bunch of other links that we have. And I don't know how to exit out. See, I need to figure out Gilded because it's just not letting me leave the edit your avatar thing. So I'm not posting the link now because I can't. I'm not sure if I can just copy it. Does this copy? If I just paste this link?
Bev, there should be up upper left-hand corner a little arrow looking 90-degree arrow to kind of
to go back. Oh, well, now it took me completely out of the thing. Just breaking everything. I know
this is why we can't have nice things, Bev.
No, I can't. Okay, I found it, and then I can post this. This is the best tricycle stream. All right, got that. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you later on at some point. Alex is going to be streaming again right now. Go to her channel.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Bye, Ryan. Happy birthday and happy St. Patrick's Day. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.